Kanina kunugeni sawa yakani mashakil bijere salambi wasulu kanina kunu ibu badu ya jama mashakil bijere salambi wasulu salam alaikum alaikum salam salam alaikum alaikum salam Kampet mafifako salam dema binadi beja kwani na Kampelet mafifako salam dema binadi bele dia kwani na Kan shoko tatu mafifako salam dema binadi shoko ya kwani na salam alaikum alaikum salam salam alaikum alaikum salam. Peace is all we need in our family, in our country. Salam ya oni na dairo.
Regional Soldier Gun, how are you? Brother Morris, what's up, bro? Please help us by sharing it. Let's go and share our favor. How are you? Kenny Sawan. Kenny Sawan. Help us by sharing it, please. Kenny Sawan. Kenny Sawan. Kenny Sawan. Just pin your tap. Salam alaikum. Alaikum salam. Salam alaikum. Here we go. Help us by sharing. Please start inviting people. Salam alaikum. Please continue starting inviting people. Continue to invite people. I will appreciate if you do that.
Only pay for what you need with Liberty Mutual.
I really appreciate if you do that. We will start soon. Go ahead, invite.
Please listen carefully.
That's good that you love it. That's not the song that I was looking for. I'm looking for this song here. Oh, from Amsterdam, Holland. Thank you. Please help us by sharing. We will start soon. Share it in the group. Yellow Shoal, thank you for sharing, please. Thank you. Thank you for sharing it. Oh, you shared it already. Thank you. Favor, thank you. Thank you. John Malual, what's up, brother? Good to see you from Canada. Please write down below where you're watching us from. Write down below where you're watching us from, so that we will appreciate you. Write down where you're watching us from, please, so we can appreciate where you're watching us from. Just tell us the city. Oh, from the hood. Good to see you, bro. Good to see you, bro. Garang, what's up, bro? Bitala hajatani. Bitala hajatani. Bitala hajatani. Bitala hajatani. Kusara deleite mama. Kusara deleite papa. Kusara deleite mama. Kusara deleite papa. Chenye kama galau. Chena lazimi atibu. We'll start after this song. Please help us by sharing it. We will start soon. If you don't mind, Share it. Share it. Share it. Share it. We'll start soon. We will start after this song. We're gonna start after this song. Kapata Yesu, Matanya Wara, Kena Mashile Gidam. Inde dunia, Kapata Yesu, Matanya Wara, Kena Mashile Gidam. Kapata Yesu, Matanya Wara, Kena Mashile Gidam. Oh, Kapata Yesu, Matanya Wara, Kena Mashile Gidam. Please go ahead, share it. Share it, please. Share it with friends. We'll start after this song. We want to make sure we have enough people before I can start. Continue inviting. Continue sending likes and heart. Likes and heart. Thank you, favorite. Kabarata Yesu, Matanya Wara, Kena Mashile Gidam. Oh, Kabarata Yesu, Matanya Wara, Kena Mashile Gidam. Oh, Kapata Yesu, Matanya Wara, Kena Mashile Gidam. Oh, Kapata Yesu. Lula, hello to you. Kapata Yesu, Matanya Wara, Kena Mashile Gidam. Oh, Kaparata Yesu, Matanya Wara, Kena Mashile Gidam. All right, let's go ahead and start our show. What an awesome to see all of you guys. I will start by doing introductions. Please help us by sharing it. I will really appreciate. But before, as usual, before I start, please tell me whether my voice is clear. If it's clear, let me know. If the voice clear, is my voice clear? Let me know. Say yes, it's clear. I will appreciate if you can write something down below, just to confirm that you guys are hearing me clearly. Uh, nobody's right. Nobody want to write something? Write YES. Yes, we can hear you. Or no, NO. Can someone write something down below? All right. Yes, very clear. Thank you, Favor. Thank you, Nawal Kudi. Thank you for confirmations. We have Guan Lukudu, all the way from Australia. Good to see you. Good to see you, Guan Morris Ladu. How are you? Good to see you all the way from Las Vegas, California, Cali. California, 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 where you? Good to see you, bro. We have Favor Na Mojuli. How are you, Favor? All the way from Amsterdam. Good to see you. All the way from Holland, Hollanda, where you? Good to see you, Favor. Also, we have Josephine Yata. Mhm. Josephine Yata, good to see you as well. I'm not sure where you're watching us from, but good to see you as well. We have also Duang Malual, all the way from Canada. Good to see you, Duang. I salute you, and it's good to see you again. Thank you for your commitment, and thank you for coming in. Garang, what's up, Garang? Hello, hello to you as well. Lulla, good to see you. She said, Faber say, yes, clear. You can hear me. Nawal say yes. Cody, she said yes. You guys can hear me clearly. We have Grace Ajawin also said, Salamu alaikum wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa ta'ala. Just like what Ginibin always says, Salamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa ta'ala wa barakatuh. Brother Duang also confirmed that you guys can hear me clearly. Thank you for the confirmations. We have favors say that yes. You're welcome, brother. Thank you so much. Also, we have Nyaka Poiti, Nya PTP, Nya, I don't know how to say, Na Bitipini Cake. Good to see you. Good to see you. Please help us by sharing it. Favor say, I love your show, my brother. It is here now, 3:49 a.m. in the morning. Wow. I really do appreciate your commitment. Even though it's early morning, that means a lot to us to wake up at 3:49 a.m. to just attend and to support. This is an awesome. I really love the energy. I love the commitment. Really, you have done so well. Family Common Sense Show. We really appreciate your commitment. Even though it's early morning, it's 3:49 a.m., but you're still here with us. Wow, this is a great. This is very great. Thank you. Thank you for your commitment. This week episode, we talk about the topic of this week is about marriage. It's about marriage. People complain a lot about marriage. Abir, good to see you too. I'm watching. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Excuse me. شوية موية كده عشان يغسل الحنجرة. Abir, thank you for watching. Help us by sharing it. That would be great. I really appreciate Favor for watching us at 3:49 a.m., 3:50 a.m. This is a great, really. I appreciate the energy, and I also appreciate all the viewers. with the great work that you guys always do, with also the commitment that's coming from above, from your heart. It means a lot. Thank you. Thank you. I do appreciate that. Let's go to the topic. This week, we come out with a topic about marriage. What went wrong? Why the marriage becomes so expensive? And who is going to be a victim here? The youth, they're the one going to be a victim. So it means we need to rethink again, or otherwise, youth will not merit. We have to rethink again about why the marriage become very expensive. And I think my sister Nelly, she mentioned it on Friday, or rather Saturday, I believe. I think it's Saturday. She mentioned and she talked about this also. And this is what we need to do. Let's continue talking about this problem that we are all facing. Why are we charging a lot of money? Even though lo biguleno nazil bigor bistemir for zawaj, it's okay. But how do you feel if you're going to stay with someone for a couple of years and then get divorced? Does that mean that you will get your money in full? Are you going to get a refund in full? I don't think so. So is it become a business, or what is it? For a lady or for a girl to be charged 600, 500 cows, from where are you going to get the money? Even though they help you, even though you get help, it's still going to be a lot for you to afford. On top, the girl that you're going to marry, she need a shelter. She need a place to stay. She need a house to live. So if you're going to charge me 600, 500 cows, then what is going to be left? You will not leave with anything. Everything will be gone. So, and that's why most of our people they struggle because the dowry and the marriage become very expensive. So if a guy going to work 2 jobs, 3 jobs just to make sure that I can come out with the money that my in-law asks, then you will not have something that you save up to go and live with it, to go even fix your house and to go even support the daughter. And it looks like nobody care. It looks like people don't care anymore. It is not about love. It's about competitions. That's what's happening now among in our society. Competition become a sickness in our community. Competition become a big problems, and we have to wake up, try to address this issue. So and so, when her daughter get married, they pay 300. Well, when my turn come, I will charge 350, 400. So now it become a competition. This is not about heritage and traditional anymore. It becomes business, you know. So, but who's responsible when it comes to raising dowry, raising cows, unbelievable numbers that they ask you to pay? And go if even if you think about it, 10 years ago, it wasn't like that. It just recently, you know. I mean, 10 years like Gidam, 2005, 2004 like Gidam. That's when things shifted, you know. That's mean young guys they were not married. لو ده بطريقة كده الشباب ما هيقدر يتزوج لأنه هم هيلقوا قروش من وين؟ If you are charging me 600 بقر 500 بقر هجيب من وين 600 بقر؟ ما حاجة ده ما بيعقل يا جماعة حاجة ده it doesn't click. Yes. Now, wow. So this become a competition. Whoever have the highest number, then it's your lucky. This is your lucky day. So you can go and marry it. There's no love anymore. People that don't care about love. They just care about who can come with the highest number, who can come with the bigger number, who can come with the 600 cows. Are you not thinking that whether my daughter is going to be happy in that marriage? Are you not worried that tomorrow, because now look at this beer with sherry, are you not worried tomorrow, child, that their daughter, is she going to live in peace? But those are the things that we need to think and need to look at it in a different ways. Hmm. I agree with you. Noel could say that, Mayor, I don't want anybody to pay my dowry. I don't want anybody marry me to bill of those kinds of money. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of call a lot. Uh, call a lot of stuff. For real. Not this day. Maybe back in the days. Yeah, but not now. And this is the things that we have to look at it very careful. Uh, and is it whose fault is that? Why things shifted in different directions? Who need to be blamed when it comes to Dory? Your daughter is a Wujube to me, and Zora Tana Buguna little me. So who need to be blamed again? Hmm? Of course, something went wrong somewhere. Something went wrong somewhere, and that's why let's come together and find what went wrong and who was the cause of that. Man, so kamana jama, we come, we have a different culture and different traditional. Uh, Not because when it comes to Nuer Dinka, they pay a lot of dollars, they pay a lot of cows when they get the money. When it comes to Zawaj, right? It does not mean that Equatorian girls are cheap. No, because we all have belief, values, and belief. You know, and those are the things that we look at it. Those are really important things. Our beliefs and customs and our beliefs. And heritage. Yes, of course, brother Noel. This has become a big problems, but in the end, youth have the final say. Youth have to do something about it. Because if you say that, you know what, if that's the case, we're not going to marry them. From where am I going to get this? Let's all agree, all 64 tribes, that when it comes to Zawai, I will pay, for instance, I will pay 30 cows. And this is what I can afford. And that will be applied to whether you're rich, you're poor, then this is the dowry that you want to pay. That's it. We need to have a set number to all the tribes. Either you're poor, you're rich, this is the amount that for you to require to pay, you need to pay 30 cows. That's it. And then now, when it comes to when it comes to arrangement, when it comes to the party, the reception, it's up to you. Now, money talk. You want to make it in Freedom Hall, you want to do it in Qasadaka, wherever you want to do it, it's up to you. It's up to you. Random Gurush, do whatever you want to do according to your money. You want to rent a big hall, you want to rent a limousine, you want to do whatever you want to do, halas. Money talk from there. If you want to do a show off, it's up to you. But the dowry, it has to be a fixed number, fixed plat number that everybody have to go by it. We agree on 15 cows. We agree on 30 cows. This is it. This is max. Everybody can afford that. Then you're required to come with at least half of it. You're required to come with half of it. If you don't have half of it, then you can't get married. Of course, that's reasonable. People can work hard. Your uncle, your cousins, they can contribute and they can help you. If you agree that a dowry will be 30 cows, for instance, okay, and people come out with at least 15, this is the minimum, okay, then anybody can afford. But our elderly, like our sister Favor said, that our elderly are doing business with their girls right now, my brother. I agree with you. You know, our elderly people, they are doing business. هم ممكن يخربوا وممكن يصلحوا. And the thing here, when it comes to wedding or to marriage, fathers, your Abul Bit mind do word, you cannot say anything. Whoever is going to be in charge of those will be your brothers, your cousins. يا بقدر يقوموا بالعملية بتاع الزواج، عملية بتاع لما نمشي يتناقشوا في مهر. So أبو البيت بيكون قاعد بس كمنظر. You know, yes, you can say your opinion, but in the end أمام البيت هم اللي بيحددوا المهر في برنامج بتاع الزواج ده. You know, طيب لو كان الزواج سيبناه لأمام البيت هم يا بيكونوا السبب, then they can even mess it up or they can fix it. There's two ways to do it. They can fix the marriage or they can destroy the marriage. It depends on whether your uncles, they are faithful, they are believers, they fear God, then everything will go smoothly. But when they don't fear God, they just focus on the money, focusing on higher number, 600, 700 cows, then most likely there's a chance this marriage will not succeed. And that's why to me I really of course favor, they don't care. That's the problem. They don't care. Our elderly people, they don't care. They don't care. They ask for 600, then you have to come out with it. You have to come out with the 600. You know, for youth to even fix this problem, youth have a big role to solve this problem. Either they can say, you know what, I can't afford it, then khalas. I'm not gonna waste my time come out with the 600 cows. Where am I gonna get 600 cows? And the thing here they charge you maybe at least $300 per cow, $400 per cow. Okay, if they're charging you some figure will be charged 300, some figure will be charged 400. So 400 times 600 cows. Come on, man. 400 times 600 cows. That's a lot of money, man. Where in the world are you going to get this money from? And in some tribe, at least we need half of it. So if they're asking half of it, you're talking about 300 cows. 300 cows times $400. That's crazy. This is crazy, man.
Gylam.
I salute you, boss.
Good to see you, bro.
Good to see you, brother. How you doing, man?
Yeah. I'm good. I'm doing good.
Is your cows ready, man?
I'm already done, man. I'm already done. I'm already married.
Oh, man. I hope they didn't rip you, man. Huh?
I haven't even paid yet, to be honest. I haven't paid. I haven't paid anything.
Oh, my brother. This is serious, man. This is very serious case, man.
Yeah.
Huh? Welcome, my brother. Good to see you
Yeah.
again. Man.
Yeah, great topic today, bro. Good to see you as well. And
Yeah.
yeah, I just wanted to say that one of the reasons why the prices, the dowry prices is high is because like, especially like from 2005 when the SPLM uncles, like
Yes.
that's what I call them, when the guys came in and then the corruption and all that, they kind of pushed up the prices in a way, like especially like even in my state where I come from, like Rumbek, there's a lot of like very high, ridiculous prices, like 500, 700. Like some of those top guys can get married like that, and then that puts pressure on the young people who want to get married and they can't afford it, you know.
Exactly.
So,
but okay, you mentioned 600, 700 cows.
yeah.
What happened to Salatin? Why they allow this to happen? And at that time,
Yeah, but our people don't enforce things. They don't. It's all business. If someone wants to pay 500 for your daughter, you're not going to say no. And nobody. It's difficult to make a law about dowry. You know, you can't. It's difficult to enforce it because how can somebody refuse if someone's giving you money? How do you or in cows? Cows is basically our money. But if somebody's giving you more, you're going to refuse?
Of course, you're going to say yes. I will take
it. Yeah, actually, there was a Baragazal conference, I think, and they did a review on the marriage system and the dowry, and then they agreed for 30 cows or something like that. 30 cows is the cap for how much will be paid for someone to get married. But but they don't. It's not implemented. Baragazal, the Dinka Baragazal, yeah, but. Yeah, it's not implemented. Nobody implemented that. You know, people getting paid. Some of my cousins got married for 250 cows and all that. It's normal, especially lakes where we come. There's too many. They have too many cows. Even now, that's why they kill each other over the grazing land. There's not enough. There's not enough space. There's too many cows, and they don't. There's no commercial culture of keeping cows. You know, and that's become a big issue. The population of cows in South Sudan is actually become too high now, and because we just keep them for marriage and all that. We don't use them to.
We don't even use it for business or invest it or do something with it. Open a company, Mafi.
Yeah, so that's a big issue in our society. If some were to learn how to, that the benefits of commercializing, I think they'll start to copy each other. You know, people will start to learn and then change the way. And nobody would care about selling their daughter for 250 or whatever. Nobody would care about it. You'll be making money, be trading. Dinka in like our area will go up to Jonglei and sell their cows there in Morley land. The Morley will come to us and they trade in cows. And then we can develop like a beef and dairy industry. You can make cheese, you can make yogurt, you can make even like leather. They call it a tannery, where they process the leather, the skin. That can just, if we have that kind of economic activity that emerges, nobody will care about dowry. I don't think anybody will care.
But Duang, to me, I think it's fixable if all the governors come out with the law. Jama, like you mentioned earlier, 30 cows the max. That's it. You know. And then this law, it couldn't apply to anybody. If you violate the law, 50 fines, or you can even go to jail for that. You can go to prison for that. Then, now Salatin, this is their job to go and talk to people in grassroots. Okay, if I'm going to charge you 30, you need to come out with at least 15. Then 15 10, and then you pay it slowly. You know, now where are you going to get the money? Even to get the 15 is going to be a lot of work. It's not going to be easy. You know, but that's why even Finwer fee Bagabal they charge $200 per cow, fee $250, and fee others just charge $300 per cow. You know, so imagine $300, and you mentioned earlier that they're in 700. You have to pay 700.
You know, those are rare cases, but if there's a big marriage, like an expensive one, it's usually like 250 or 300 maybe, but it doesn't go up to like 500, 700. But it's some of those like Haraka Shabia guys when they go there.
Money, of course.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like there's a guy from my village, one of the business guys. He's a businessman and he has a lot of money and stuff. And his son came from Australia, and they paid 700 cows to the chief's daughter. The chief in Rumbek, 700 cows. They paid it. You know? Can you believe that? That's crazy, isn't it?
So imagine if you don't. Let's say if your dad passed away, your mom, and nobody just really take care of you. So doesn't mean you're not going to get married, or what's going to happen now?
That's the problem.
Nobody's going to look after you or even support you.
That's what's happening. Like now in Lake State, people still cattle raiding every day. You know, because people raid and then they use the cows to get married.
You see,
so the price is too high. It's too much. It's too much. Plus the guns and the population of the cows. It's a combination of different things that's causing that. It's all related anyway, but it's a complicated subject, man.
But okay. Well, then what's going to be a way forward for youth then? Do you have any idea what can the youth do? I mean, to fix this problem or to find solution or to find ways.
Yeah,
this has become a chaos for them. It become a problem.
Yeah, to be honest with you, like the whole dowry thing, I don't believe in it. I don't believe people should pay dowry for marriage. I think people should choose who they want to be with, get married, and then like if they don't want to be together, you don't have to return any cows. No problem at all. Some people would say I have a Western mentality, but I don't see it as a good thing because I've seen girls like my cousin. She got beaten until she was pregnant. She got pregnant by a guy that she liked, and then the family. There was an issue, of course, like in our culture, girl can't get pregnant. So she was beaten until she had miscarriage.
You see,
we beat her. You know, there's a lot of cases of that. Some people get killed. Some of the girls get killed, even in our area.
Even the boys come on, looking at the of course, they can even when they find you, they can beat you, they can kill you even.
Yeah, exactly. So things like that, it kind of makes me dislike that. I don't like it. I don't like that. I don't like the dowry.
So that means they're using girls for business. If you have a daughter, then kalas.
Yeah, it's pure business.
And the thing here, your uncles, they're the one going to be in charge for your wedding. So
Yeah.
that means they have a power to either make it go smoothly, or they can even mess it up.
Exactly.
You see, and sometimes the father of the girl, you just keep quiet. You know, you just say what you think, but in the end, you're the one have a power. You know,
exactly.
Maybe that's why the prices went high, and nobody cared. You know.
Yeah. The price go high. If you compare them, even like before SPLM, the prices was still going high in some areas because the population of cows is like they cut more cows now, so people get married with more cows, especially in Lake State. There's too many cows over there. I think Upper Nile probably has. I think they have less. I think it's more sheep and goats on that side. The population is on the eastern side of the Nile, according to Sudan geography. The cows are less on that side. So I believe that's why in Barghazal the dowries are too much, like too much, too many cows.
Okay, then there's nobody that they cannot go and talk to them and convince them, Yama, let's use those cows for business or for something. They will refuse for sure, right? If you have 700 cows and you're not doing anything with it, you know.
Yeah, I even told my uncle one time, why don't we sell these cows and let's open a shop? When I visited Rumbek, I said, let's sell all this. You don't need this, and he was offended. He didn't like it. He didn't like that.
Oh man.
Yeah.
He was mad because he gave them an idea and let's do this.
Yeah, it's a big thing. It's more of a cultural thing to them, keeping cows just for like marriage and to show I have wealth, but it doesn't mean anything.
So you wake up in the morning, halas, You have cows, you better, you're happy.
You sing to them.
You sing to them.
You sing to the cow. Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh man, we have a long way to go.
I remember, actually, if you go to like Lake State or Rumbek, in general or wherever, you can find a man owning 1,000 cows, and he's wearing a jalabia and no shoes, no sandals, and that's the only clothes that he has. That's the only thing, just one, and he owns 1,000 cows.
And you can't even go and sell one cow to go and buy a second shoes or a second jalabia. No, he will not even spend.
He won't do it. They won't do it. So I think the commercialization of cattle needs a government policy to train the people and enlighten them on the benefits of producing milk, improving the quality of the cows, and things that we can get from it economically, like yogurt, cheese, the meat, the leather. There's so much we can get from cows. Even like the Middle East, for example, that's our market.
It's true.
That's a market for us, like Saudi and all those countries.
Exactly.
And somebody told me that Northern Sudanese traders go up to Will and those areas, they buy the cows from the Dinka Will and all that, and Anamab. They buy from them, and they take the cows to Saudi Arabia and Egypt and they sell it for more.
Oh man.
So that's business for them, and you get hard currency.
See?
Yeah.
And then that we don't have that kind of idea.
Yeah, and we have 30 million cows. Yeah, I did some research on it, and like Botswana, I did research on Botswana because they have a beef industry, and I checked the population of their cows is I think it's like less than 2 million or so, or 3 million or something like that. And they have like a billion. They have an industry make like over $1 billion a year, more than $1 billion.
And
Yeah.
they all have only 2 millions.
Yeah. They have an industry. They developed that.
In South Sudan, we have over 30 millions.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I think Canada. I don't know. I think it's Alberta or Canada in general. It's something like the beef industry is 19 billion a year. $19 billion.
Yeah.
So how much hard currency can buy those from those Arabs in Saudi Arabia and all those? They'll buy the cows,
and even
the sheep.
We are closer.
Yeah.
We are closer.
Yeah.
To go to sell it to Saudi, but they might give you all the way from Europe away. No, it doesn't make sense at all.
Yeah. Especially this time like Ramadan, that'll be a big market for us.
Oh yeah.
For the whole Middle East.
You're absolutely right. Huh?
Yeah. Especially like even if they're here. If they're here and all that. Yeah. Can sell all this Khurfan. Can take them there. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. But there has to be a strategy to like breeding and improving the quality and stuff.
Yes.
And to improve the production, like because I remember William Nguyen's daughter. Yeah, she had an interview. She's a veterinary doctor, and she said our cows are not producing like they're supposed to be. Some of them go for years without producing because they're supposed to be like every year. So the cows are not healthy. They walk long distance for grazing.
They don't give them shot. They're not healthy. Not
healthy at all. Yeah. Under stress.
Yes.
Stress.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so there's a lot, man. There's a lot. It's all connected. I know it's a bit off topic, but I was talking about something else. Another way we can change the mindset, and other things that we can do, because we're rich people as well. We're rich, but it's just about the mind, how you use your mind.
Exactly. But the thing here, المشكلة في our government
Yeah.
They have to rethink about this. Now people are focusing on oil, and yet we have other ways, the other ways we can make money. Like you mentioned, you know,
Yeah.
30 million cows. That's a
7
lot.
million cows. Yeah.
They can do a lot with it, and then the oil money we can use it for fixing the roads
Yeah.
and all this,
Yeah, even farming, growing food. I didn't even mention that.
This,
I didn't even mention the food, growing agriculture.
Exactly.
I didn't even mention that.
Oh man.
So those two. But if people are making money like that, who's gonna think about I need to sell my daughter for this and that thing? Nobody will care about that. Maybe it will be symbolic. Maybe one cow, just a symbol, or 5, or whatever is available. It wouldn't be about having 100 or something. Maybe.
I like the appreciation if you do at least 20, 30 cows, and it couldn't be reasonable price, come on. Might could $400. No.
Yeah.
Let's say $150, $100 per cow. You can anybody can afford. And when it comes to wedding or marriage, your uncles will contribute, your brother will contribute, everybody will come with something.
Yeah, that's how it is.
It's not going to be a big load for you. And the thing here, Finance Bizoju, for instance, like you mentioned earlier, 700 cows. In next 2-3 years, that girl will divorce. Something will happen to the family.
It never works. It never works out. All those big weddings, all those big ones with the 300 cows and all that. A lot of the time, it doesn't go well.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, but that's the problem. That's the problem that we got here. And if it doesn't go well, then there's a curse. Well, there's something not right. Because if those Ojuk by 700 cows, for instance, and you're just going to last for 2-3 years for wedding with that, then there's something not right.
It's not good as well for all those cows to be given to one family over thing. That's not good. I wouldn't like that, to lose all those cows.
Or what they can do, for instance, if lo marrak talab talak, for example, then you're supposed to get the refund. They have to refund. They refund you half of the money, and top you keep the children.
Yeah, but how often does that happen? They even giving back of cows and all that. You never get them back.
For sure,
you never get it back. Never get it back.
Wow. Wow. I think we have a lot of work to do.
There's a lot of work, man. A lot of work. Yeah, there was one thing I forgot to mention in that we have in Dinka culture. Like when somebody gets married, like for example, if somebody pays 100 cows, they said after some years, you get your in-laws give back like 3 cows for every 10 cows they give back.
Wow. So you get some years.
After some time, they give you some back, like a few. For every 10, you get 3 back.
Oh,
that was in our culture, but I don't think they follow it now.
They don't do it anymore.
I don't think so. Maybe some.
Yeah. Looking at that time, when those things happen, maybe it was 40 cows, 50 cows, 70 cows, and that's the zaman lo bido you 70 cows. That's very expensive. That's a big weight, And now people are talking about 700, not 70.
Yeah.
It's
crazy.
It's crazy. It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So the only way to do it is to just educate our people.
Exactly.
And Salatin, of course, they have they have their kingdom share folk. That's why they keep quiet.
Exactly, they're quiet. Everybody gets something out of it. Exactly. The chief gets some, your uncles, your friends, everybody gets a piece of the pie,
So maybe that's why they just kept quiet. Hey, if the wedding amal succeed, they pay 700, then you get your share, everybody get their share, and basically they keep quiet. But this is serious, brother. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem, man. I'm happy to be part of the show again, man. It was nice to see you.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you so much.
I'll be watching from down there. Anyway, I'll be watching.
Thank you so much, brother. Good to see you, Don.
All right, thank you.
Stay blessed, man.
Stay blessed.
Okay. That's brother Don. He mentioned very important hayat that we need to rethink again. We need to rethink as people. And this problem become a big problem, you know. Finance bukun mindum istita to come out with the money, you know. Or finance to they look at it, you know, you guys are using other people. When it comes to wedding or like marriage, we don't have to use people, you know. يعني تلقى زول بيزوجوه ب 700 cows, like he mentioned, my brother mentioned earlier. On top of that, الزواج ده ما بيقعد. Next 2-3 years بيكون في طلاق. It means automatically that إنه الفاميلي ده كأنه ملعون. It looks like there's a curse في family ده, right? لأنه how come you're charging 700, 500, 600 cows وبعدين بيتك ما بيقدر يقعد مع زول ده. Then your in-law is supposed to convince the girl, you know, you need to stay. Now this person have paid a lot of money or a lot of cows. So you're not supposed to divorce. The spirit of divorce, and you pay a lot of money, you know, you pay a lot of cows. So therefore, لما بنتكم يطلب طلاق for example, لو طلب طلاق, then that's mean you're supposed to get your refund in full. On top of that, your kids, you're supposed to keep your children. Then بكون fair. That'll be fair to الناس اللي بيدفعوا كتير, you know. The worst thing برضه في ناس general, they will come with the money, they don't care. If you want 700 cows, they pay it, no problem, easy. في a lot of generals, they have money. ما بناقش كتير بكلام الدوري ده. Just tell me how much. So لو بدي عنده boyfriend, poor boyfriend, what's going to happen now? They will not live together. In fact, هيشيل البيت ده بودي لجنرال عنده قروش. So that means nobody believe in love anymore. ما هيكون في زواج بتاع حب. الزواج هيكون بس based on ده منو القوي اللي باكل ضعيف. ده منو بيجي بالقروش كتير اللي بيقدر ياكل الضعيف. So it's a competition. This is a competition for real. يعني لما يكون الكبير باكل الضعيف, no love, you know. حتى عشان كده الزواج ده ما بيتم. عشان كده الزواج ده ما will not last because it was not based في حب, was not based on love. الزواج ده بيبدأ because you have money. الزواج ده بيبدأ because of competition. الزواج ده بيبدأ because you have the money. See? And that's why sometimes بيكون في طلاق, أو تلقى إنه بيبدأ هرب منك, بيهرب مع عيال, أو بيهرب يسرق نفسه براو, you know. أو تلقى إنه بيبدأ you know, will not accept لأنه الراجل اللي بيزوج ب 700 cows ده most likely بيكون عنده more than one wife. So when he comes with 700 cows, that's mean already بيكون عنده 2 أو 3 في البيت. ولما يكون the money was not blessed, in other words, الماني اللي تزوج تبوده ما من سواد بتاعك. Believe me, this money was not blessed, which means even though you married 2 or 3, they will not stay with you. لأن قروشة جاب الطريقة ما بالطريقة رسمي. قروشة ما جاب الطريقة بتاع عرق بتاعك, ما جاب الطريقة بتاع تعب بتاعك. So God will not even bless that marriage, will not bless even that الأجر بتاعك, الزواج بتاعك. عشان كده تلقى إنه في divorce rate is high, وتلقى إنه زول دفع 700 cows ما بيقعد كتير. Let's look for the root cause of that, why things like that happen. Well, God wants to show you that something went wrong somewhere. or I want to prove it to you that something went wrong somewhere. Therefore, it needs to be fixed. Exactly, favor. Something needs to be fixed somewhere. And this is the indications to people around Al-Fihella. There's something wrong in that marriage. So that means they don't even care about your daughter's feeling. It means like nobody care about your child's feeling. It's just like whoever come with the highest money, then you are the one going to be in charge. You are the one going to take the lady. Whoever come with the highest number, then you are the winner. You are the winner. And because they did auction, when you are in auction, you debate until whoever is the highest will take the prize. So we are using ladies, females, kind of auction. Using them as kind of auction. If you have daughters, especially daughters, you need to rethink again. To me, I will not allow, to take other people's money or to be rich. I shall know this guy have money. I will just give you my daughter. No. And that's why all fathers, wake up. It's not like, I'm not saying that let's work against the tradition and all this. No. We have the final say. If you are the father and the شايف انه حاجات دي كله ما ماشي كويس للصالح بتاعك وصالح بتاع family بتاعك, then do something about it. Do something about it. Find somebody and look what Majanat, even though Lohindu Basit. It's better to go and give your daughter to someone that will abuse someone who by the way. I'm paying a lot of money when I marry you. I pay a lot of cows. Now you want to go? I'm not going to let you go. يذبح البيت ممكن يحصل إن البيت ده يتذبح لأنه الراجل دفع فلوس كتير وراك. Now منين بيكون خسران؟ الأب الوالد بيكون غلطان وبيكون خسران. أعمام اللي كانوا برضو في برنامج تعيرز برضو اتكلموا وناقشوا ولغادوا مع الراجل أغناه يدفع 700 بقرة. الدم والبلام كله بيرجع للناس دي. ودم بتاع أي زول بريء. دم بتاعه will not go in vain, by the way. What's going to happen is هيكون لعنة ده للأمام، لعنة ده للأب اللي هو خلى بيته يمشي، ولعنة ده حتى القروش الدفاع ده كله بيكون قروش ملعون. بيكون فيه خسارات، وخسارة ده بيكون فيه الدم. الدم ده بيكون من وين؟ إذا من الراجل أو من المرأة. الراجل بيستخدم البيت كسليف، كأنه زول سليف عنده. You know what? I pay a lot of money when I marry you. So you get to do 1, 2, 3, 4. زواجي خسرني كتير. خسرت كتير بالزواج بتاعك. Therefore, you must do 1, 2, 3, 4. البيت ده ما بيكون له حرية في الزواج بتاعه، ما بيكون فوقه peace، ما بيكون في زواج له فوقه بركة، الزواج ده ما بيكون مبارك. الزواج ده برضه بيكون شنو؟ مشاكل بيكون أكتر وأكتر وأكتر. لأن الراجل بيعاملك كأنه كانوا زي اشتراك، وكل مرة بيذكر إنه دفع قروش كتير في زواجه. See? So those are the signs that I have to look careful. بالذات لو عندك عيال بنات. هل بنتك هيكون سعيد في سعادة الراجل اللي دفع 700 بقرة ده؟ هل هيكون في سعادة؟ هل بنتك يكون بلس هيكون مبارك، ولا مشت بس لأنه بس باعوه، مشت لأنه بس الأهل اتفقوا إنه شنو خلينا بيو برا، ما ده سفر شنو بين slavery. It's the same thing now. ما فاضيين بالفيلم بتاع بنتهم ده كيف، ما فاضيين بنتهم هل عنده راعي. family said no, this is what we agree on and you must go. طبعا شنو ممكن بده يقبل يمشي مع الراجل، وبعد يومين ثلاثة تنتهر يمشي انتهر. ده منو خسران؟ you guys الأبوهات أو الأمور بتاع البدة انتوا خسرانين. أنا الراجل بكون خلاص دفع المهر بتاعه وانتوا عندكم المهر، لكن المهر ما مبارك. خسرتوا البيت وحتى لو كسبت القروش money will not make you happy. في كم من ناس millionaires they still عندهم نفسيات. of course they have the money, huh? they're living the best life, لكن نفسياتهم ما مرتاحة. what you will see next إنه بيبدأوا يستخدموا المخدرات، بيبدوا إنه بيكون عندهم spirit بتاع شنو suicide، أو بيكون تلقاهم ماتوا بأوفردوز. لأنه لو كان قروش بيخلي زول يكون happy كان all the millionaires they're now happy. تلقى إن الناس كلهم عندهم قروش they're happy seriously. لكن because money will never make you happy. happiness is not just about money. happiness إنه تلقى زول اللي بيسمع كلام جميل. happiness بتلقى زول اللي بيمليك كلام الكويس. happiness بتلقى زول اللي بيهتم بيك وبيرعى شعورك وبيحاول إنه يحافظ على علاقة جميلة. This is the happiness that I'm talking about. The happiness that I'm talking about. This is the peace that I'm talking about. Peace of mind, peace of soul. Then you're going to make it with your partner. But if you're only going to focus on how much money that I will get when my daughter get married, I don't care about her feelings. I don't care how she's going to make it. Only thing I care is to get the 700 cows. Period. That's it. But if you do have fear of God in your life, you will always think about your child's feelings. هتكون بتركز برضه إن يا ترى بنتي هيكون مبسوط في الزواج ولا لا، لما نكون في fear بتاع الله في حياتك. But when you don't have it, guess what? For sure, you are not going to make it through. For sure, your child even الجنة ممكن نعمل لك curse. في مثل بيقول إنه الجنة لو عشان يكون تعرف إن الجنة ده محترم، أنت ما بتحاول، الجنة ما بيحاول إنه شنو يعلي صوته للوالدين، صح؟ معظم العيال كان تلقاه الجنة متربي ومتربي تربية كويس، هيحاول إنه ما يرفع صوته لأبوه أو لأمه. whatever الأبوه قال له بقول حاضر بابا، حاضر يا ماما. لكن يا ترى أنت سألت نفسك لما قال لك حاضر ده هل كان من جوا قلبه وكان مبسوط، ولا قال لك حاضر وبتحزن وهي حزينة؟ I'm sure you will not tell the difference unless until you're close. If you're very close to your child, then you can observe and you can tell from the way your child look. It depends, Marwa. It depends on ناس اللي جاي تزوج منهم. في ناس بيقيموا بقر ب $300، في ناس بيقيموا بقر ب $200، وفي ناس بيقيموا بقر ب 250. So from $200 to $300 per cow, and then but it depends how many cows they're asking انه منكم عشان زواج. Thank you, Bob. Yes, you're absolutely right. That's what I was saying. Anywhere between the $200 to $300, which is true. So if anywhere from $200 to $300 per cow, then how much العظيم منك? Wow. John was saying in Rumbek, one of his cousins paid $600 per cow. $600. لبقر واحد. This is ridiculous. $600 لبقر واحد. So if they ask you to pay, let's say 100 cow, and then now they're charging you $600 per cow. Allah, it's better for me to buy an apartment in Masr, or in Nairobi, or in Khartoum. It's better for me to buy myself a nice, good apartment or a nice, good house. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. And that's the mentality that we need to talk and do something about it. If they're charging $600, the burger wahid times 100 cows, you're talking about $60,000 US. If you're charging $600 per cow, وطلبوا منك 100 بقر بس, only 100, you're talking about 60,000 cash. 60,000 US. أنا بقدر أشتري لي بيت منه on top, وبقدر نأجر منه. بشتري لي بيت منه تمام في الناس area, وبشتري في راسه حايس اللي بيشتغل مواصلات, وممكن تشتري في راسه ركشة كمان on top of that. What else you need? You have a nice house in a nice area, a very fancy area. عندك حايس شغال بيجيب لك قروش, عندك ركشة شغال, and you have your own car that you use for your own transportation للبيت بتاعك لعيالك. With that, $60,000. So now, when you think carefully, who's losing and who's winning? That's why we have to think. Don't just think the short term now. You have to have a vision for long term goal. Because with that 600,000 or without $60,000, within 3 or 4 years, that 60,000 you can make it to 180. You can make it to 120. You either can make it double or triple if you really have mind. If you're using your tayuk, then within that $60,000, you can make it work. But in the next 2-3 years, you will see the benefit in a state of that is a little bit the mark guarantee command in the book review it. You never know. You never know whether this woman will bear children. Mafi guarantee, Mafi guarantee, this woman brother, Haish Mark, that Abbott. There's no proof that, or there's no guarantee, bidda hayquat magi will take yal, ma guarantee. Mungkin kun bidda armala, you never know. Mungkin bidda tomorrow we will divorce you. You never know. Mungkin bidda maybe. Iktulak kuntanaim wala isamamak في يعني لانه الزواج ده ما مبني على حب، سو ولا الراجل خسران ولا مرة خسران، both of them. لأن زوجوك وبقيت زي slave, you just come to the house, right? So who's losing now? Who's the victim now? عشان كده أي زواج مبني على حب will live and will last forever. But الزواج المبني على business والله ربنا يكون في العون، ربنا يكون في العون. عشان كده to me I'm thinking, let's rethink. This is a big issue to a lot of youth. This is a big issue to a lot of people. So it's required for us to open our mind, to think carefully, and to come out with positive ideas that can save our children in Noizoju or our youth in Noizoju. Now you will see a person, a guy that is, we can think is all in the 30 years, let's say from 35 to 45, okay, or from 30 years to 40 years. المفروض ده الزواج السن اللي ممكن راجل يزوج فوقه، ولو قلنا من بنات anywhere from 25 to 35. So if you're giving بنات يزوج from 25 to 35, لأنه when you reach 40 to 45 a chance إنه تولد أو يكون عيال بسيط، chance ده بسيط لأنه your hormones will not be active زي لما أنت كنت في age of 25. You see what I'm saying? When you age of 25 that's mean خلاص your body خلاص بقيت fully يعني كل حاجة بتكون 100% بتكون خلصت الجامعة بتاعك. Age of 25 it means that you already finished your university and you can start working and start having family. That's what I'm saying. So age of 25 to 35 I urge البنات to get married in that range 25 to 35. Why? Because chance for you to bear or to have kids there's going to be risk. From 35 to 45 you're talking about 10 years. Those 10 years, what's the guarantee that you're going to have children? And that's why it's good for girls to get married at that age. They beside Katir, seriously, Maana Khuna Baraj, let me try to bring him. Sheikh Omda.
كيف يا باشا؟
شنو يا باشا؟
والله ما
شو
بطال
شغلك؟
كيف
يقول
انت؟
طاير كده مان.
ايه؟
شكلك تعبان كده مان.
I know man. برد شديد عندنا هنا.
يعني انتوا opposite بتاع امريكا في in term of weather.
Yep. Very opposite. Very opposite. هنا في winter هسي.
Wow. Welcome my brother. Good to see you.
Thank you.
الناس انا ما اعرف ناس الليله ميتين لشنو كلام بتاع التوبيك ده ما عجبهم ولا very sensitive. ناس طنش شويه.
اسمعني؟
ولا كلهم مزوجين.
ايوه هم بيهمهم كلهم متزوجين البشر ما بيهمهم طبعا.
الله يرزقهم ما بيهمهم.
اسمع بلس اعتبر معظمهم عندهم بنات وما يهدوا بناتهم for free.
ما داسيت كيف مش معنى انا اللي عندي خمسه اللي نقول شنو؟ يعني انا غير بكون نسكت زي ما نتكلم زي انا I want to go with the 700 cows. That I like that idea.
Why
so
not?
that I can buy myself, open a company لنفسي ذاته. Like my brother Don got $600 per the cow. Why? Come on, the disaster, you know.
It is happening. Yeah, it is happening with our economic
Welcome,
situation. Thank you.
What do you have for us?
اوكي انت انتهيت من كلامك، شايف كنت قاعد تواصل في الكلام ده.
اي يس ممكن بعدين نكمل تاني كمان.
يا فيرست اوف اول كده، اول حاجه خليني نسلم لجماهيرك اللي قاعدين بيحضروا معك هسه حاليا، ونسلم عليك. ده توفيق بالمناسبه سخن شديد. ده سخن لانه في حاجات كتير بيجي معه. انت سامعني كويس مش؟
يا سامعني.
في حاجات كتير بيجي معه. موضوع الزواج عندنا نحن بنقول very expensive، لكن يعني نحن لما نجيب الزواج مثلا في عادات وتقاليد بتاعنا، الزواج بيوقف على شنو اساسا؟ بغض النظر هو سيز الاسم شنو بتاع الزواج ده، هو العقد بتاع الزواج ده هو بين شخصين ولا بين فاميلي، you know. so يعني الزواج بتاعك، انا قاعد اقول زواج يعني احنا مثلا كجنوبيين في المبدأ هو زواج يعني زواج نقول له اي زول مدخل فيه نخرته.
ايوه.
اي زول مستفيد من خال الخال لعم العم لاخت الخال بجروه،
كلهم مستفيدين.
كلهم مستفيدين. لما يكونوا مستفيدين طبعا بالضبط بيكون في شنو؟ لازم يكون في قيمه في الحته ده. يلا والقيمه ده بيجي كيف مثلا؟ يعني قاعد نضرب اخلاقيا القيمه ده بيع وشراء ولا البتاع ده بس فرح؟ شفتها؟ لكن يعني زمان اللي انا بعرفه كده، خليني اتكلم عن نفسي ولا محل انا جيت منه. طبعا عاداتنا وتقاليدنا نزوج ببقر. وزمان لما يكون عندك بنات ده يعني معلش زي كده انت كان تكون غنيان شديد.
ايوه.
ما بزول بتكلم معك كاخدتك شيخ الهله. يعني زمان عندنا سبيشالي عندنا الناس اللي بيتزوجوا ببقر ديل. انا داير اتكلم لك عن لما الزمن كان سمح، لما الوضع كان وضع راقي ما حسيت. طبعا الناس بقى جعانه والامور بقى بيع وشراء تقعد تاكل النسايب والاسره كله لو متزوج بيت واحد. الحكايه بقى ملخبطه. لكن على الاساس والاسس زمان الناس بيتزوجوا مثلا عندنا في بلدنا ببقر. ليه؟ لانه البقر اساسا كانوا لتباهي وللزواج. يعني ده كان عندها قيمه كده. البقر اساسا ما بقعد في يدين زول واحد. يعني الليله انت لو عندك اولاد وعندك بنات، كل ما بنتك يتزوج ولدك بيتزوج، البقر اللي تشيلته ده هتدي لزول تاني، الزول تاني بيشيله بدي لزول تاني،
صح.
وزول تاني بيشيله بدي لزول تاني. الامور كان ماشي اساسا متبادل زي ده. يعني البقر كان ما ممكن يقعد في يدك انت لمده 30 years و 40 years. في بقر بيجي وبمشي، بقر بيجي بيمشي. يعني الامور كان ماشي كده كويس، وامور فيها مو ترانسبيرنسي. يعني كان ما بخطوا الحكايه للبيع والشراء. لكن من جينا محل بقول الترك، جينا لجلابه ده، والامور طبعا بتاع جنوب السودان خربت، والامور بقى حاجه تاني. اخلاقيات فات من الزواج. انا بقيت اشوف البتاع ده بقى نظام بيع وشراء. الناس ممكن يكون ناس عندهم تاني another opinion، بس انا قاعد اشوف الامور الماشيه ده اساسا دي survival with the economic situation in South Sudan and ظروف بقى غالي شديد والامور ماشي. لو في نسيب كده شاد هيلو يقدر ياكل وياكل الاسره، واي نوت؟ النسيب يكون نظيف كده نظيف كده ويدعم حبتين في الشهر. يعني المشكله وين يعني؟
ما في مشكله.
بالضبط. الامور بيمشي حتى نمشي نفوت من الطين ده عشان نمشي محل الناشف ده. نسيب واحد بيقدر بودي في الظروف الحاليه ده. وفعلا بالمناسبه حاجات ده ساعد. but it's depend now. I think it's depend now. بقول لك expensive it's depend now. لكن بصراحه كده لو انت جيت بالعندك ومشيت بالمشيت ولسه expensive، لكن you will handle the situation. الناس بيقدروا الظروف تو، ما بكون زي الاول. الكلام اساسا في دراسه الثيوري في الخشم البتاع ده expensive والبتاع ده كده. لكن يعني لو عندك نسايب دايرين يعصروك نمن يمصوك كده يقولوا ما ما فيك حاجه ده، يبقى ده جريمه، لانه النسب عندنا قالوا النسب ما بينتهي.
صح.
نسيب الليله حتى لو شلت منه 100 جراند ده ماني هيتي معه.
Exactly.
هيساعدني down the track if anything happen to my family. That's why اننا بقول لك شنو، انت لما تناسب ناس، انت ده تناسب ناس بيد عندهم اهل مثلا، ده ما عنصريه ولا اي حاجه، لكن يقول لك بيد عنده اهل شنو، الحياه مو مساعده. انت ده لو وقعت كراجل بعدين اهله ده كله هيجيبوا معك ده راجل بيتنا، بكون فيه كده بتمرق، لانه الحياه كله ما نظيف you know. So الزواج كان بيترتب على هذه القيم، ده اساسنا القيم برتب في زواج. لكن القيم الحاليا هسه ده انا بالمناسبه ما هقدر الوم ناسنا كتير بالوضع الحاليا ده. Like if we didn't have the dowry system, there would be a lot more marriage. I don't think so. There would be a lot more marriage. الحكاية ما dowry
system. You disagree with what she said?
I absolutely disagree. You know, more marriage ما بيحصل في القروش اساسا، ده في التشجيع. You know, يعني ممكن will be a lot more marriage، لكن ما في حاجة بتاكلوا. وضعكم زاروا تعبان، ووضعكم حالته عيال اللي بتلدوم ده زاروا نمر خير ما تلدوم. شفتها؟ سو الوضع ما مشكلة، الناس كتير يعملوا get married أو ناس بسيطين you know, but the encouragement come with the situation of economic situation and the dowry system exists for 300 years. That's the minimum I can say. All right. And this in this 300 years, if you see our population is increasing exponentially, you know, is triple عديل يعني. هسي ده يعني نبدأ بس من جديد ثالث ده. ولما جتهد لعياله أولاده وده كله متزوج ببقر غالي وحاجات ده كله زي ما هني قاعد نقول غالي، لكن البوبوليشن زاد ما نقص. معلش الحرب ده يجي نقصنا you know. السيتويشن كده هاي، لكن عشان مثلا أنا نعمل identify للبروبلم. The whole problem is about the economic situation and the moral standard. أخلاقنا يزحلق من الوضع. بيقول مثلا الزواج الحقيقي شنو؟ you know، لأنه هسه بيجي مثلا أنت لو اتزوجت very expensive والله فلان ده بيجي غالي، الناس كله يعني أنت لو ما غالي ما عندك قيمة. فهمت؟ ده الموهوب بيجي كده يعني، ده زوج ب 500 cows، بيتك لازم يزوج ب 500 cow، لكن الحكاية ما كده. you know، في ناس they willing to pay
competition.
Dowry في ناس they willing to pay 200 cow. If I have a daughter and somebody willing to pay 200 cow، نقول له لا ده كتير. أنا ما بعصرك. I'm not gonna say look you must pay this. But if you give me 200 cow, would I say no?
Right.
Of course I wouldn't say no.
Yes.
You know. So الوضع الأساسي هو كالآتي: القيم والأخلاق. قيمتنا في الزواج مثلا زمان كان شنو؟ وقيمتنا في الزواج الحالي هو شنو؟ لأنه هسي حاليا عشان أنا أزوج بالناس بملح ونيجي نعمله كعب is the same thing زي تزوجت بالناس بقروش وتيجي تعمله كعب. you know, and في two situation it can happen. So where is the problem here? البروبلم هي ده أخلاقياتنا مثلا. يعني قيمة الزواج شنو عندنا ومعنى الزواج شنو عندنا. You know, this is my own opinion. I'm not an expert, you know, but I'm just trying to make sense out of our real situation and what is the issue here. You know, I do believe the issue of the dowry, yes, it's too expensive, it's deteriorating. Plus, our economic situation, our political situation, our war in South Sudan, and we refugee, مساهمات ده كله ساهمت فيه. You know, and حتى في أرض الواقع يعني الأخلاق بتاعنا في الزواج اتزالت. وبقى ماديات يا هو قاعدة في الزواج بتاعنا يعني هنا مثلا كجنوبيين. You know, سو بينظروا بمنظور الماده. حتى زادوا هسه اليوم ده يقول لك مثلا انت لو ده تتزوج يا قايلام النسيب بيجي بيتعرف بيك وفلان بيجي بيتعرف بيك ولما انت عايلين في يوم زي ده اساسا دارين حاجه ياكلوا ما اكثر من كده.
That's true. Oh man.
والامور تمشي ويتمنى لك الخير لانك is okay. بعد ده لو زمان بيحصل زي ده ما بيحصل زي ده. وزمان ده بيعزموك انت زارك شوف تتزوج بنتهم انت زارك يعزموك ينادوك يقول لك تعال يعرفوك بالناس ويوروك وينو انا هنا يقولوا بدي اعمل له حساب عنده ناس لكن الزمن ده there's a lot of contributing factor actually في our زواج. انا بنظر في اخلاقياتنا. الناس الكبار بالمناسبه لازم ينظروا في المورال. انا لو مثلا عندنا لو بنتبع الزواج ده في الاسس، في الاسس المسيحيه ولا الاسس الاسلاميه ولا الاسس التراديشنال because if I'm a traditionalist I'm a moderate traditionalist الليله الزواج دقيقه معلش
okay
الليله زواج الليله زواج مثلا عندنا يعني بقى حاجه كده انت لما تنظر عليه في ذهن الناس بقى مثلا يعني انت لو تزوجت ده لازم تكون عندك حاجه لزول يعني بنظره بتاع بيع وشراء في النهايه كده. مثلا لو الناس ابو ولا ما ابو اخلاقياتنا مرق منه the moral standard. So أنا دايرين نراجع قيم بتاعنا like what I said just to conclude and to give my brother a chance. I'm say a moderate traditionalist. الزواج الليلة لو يتم الليلة زي كنا بعدين نقعد negotiation بتاع بقر تم وأنا مثلا عملت زواجي لأهل البيت وانتهينا ده كده مرتين عشان نيجي مثلا نمشي الكنيسة ونسوي زفاف ده ما شروط. ده بيجي مثلا في اختيارنا بعدين يعني نعمل شنو ونمشي قدام. سو هسه انت بتشوف الزواج اكسبنسيف ليه؟ لانه في نيو انتريس. الزفاف بقى ب 5000 والهول بقى ب 30,000 والناس دايره تجي والامور كده والامور ده كان ما عندنا اساسا في الحقيقه. سو ناو لما تمسك الباكج ده والباكج الناس بقى تعبانه لو في زول عنده بيت وجيها ولا بيت سامحه كده لازم شويه كده تدفع فيه شويه كده اكسترا. سو الباكج ده بقى تقيل على الانسان اللي داير يتزوج. That's why يعني هسه قاعدين نشوف شنو الزواج very expensive but at the end of the day if we go back to our moral standard and look at the real زواج and what is the problem actually we would fix it. The زواج بتاع dowry or the dowry system has been there for 300 years and عشان نعمل get rid of it slowly we will get over it. But how to get over it? We need to put back the value of marriages. And just to conclude أنا ما أعرف حبوبتي ما يتطلقت عمره ما يتطلقت. جدي قال لي زمان حاجة بقول الطلاق ده ما في. أنت تزوجت ده خلاص للنهاية للأبد. ليه؟ لأنه في قيمة. بالضبط لأنه في قيمة. لكن هنا الطلاق والزواج وما متفقين وكانوا بيحبوا بعض في النهاية ما قدروا يحبوا بعض وما قدروا يعيشوا في بيت ولازم يتطلقوا. الأمور زادت. So الأمور بقى more even expensive and more material stuff come in. And thank you. If there is anything or there is some question because I've seen a few come on here from our brother Narendra as well and a few people here. They are very active now on the. How you doing, brother Narendra? And
yeah, we can go to the question, but let's give Brother Bull a chance. Before I give you a chance to talk, there's a question here, Gal. If the dowry system works, how come so much marriage fail, especially our parents' generations? That's a question from Ayan. Go ahead, Brother Bull.
Yeah. Good evening, brother, guys. This is
good evening.
This is a very important topic, like there's some issue that have to be discussed. This is the pros and cons, the marriages. Which means, in other words, there's a good side of paying the dowry, and the bad side why people don't want to pay dowries.
Exactly.
The question that was first of here, divorce and the marriage cannot be contradict together. You know, because there's a reason why you divorce your wife or your wife divorce you. There's a reason. In traditional concept, you married, but at the end when you become like a family, there will be some issues that involve, and then that will end up the marriage, and then that can be contradicted with the marriages, with paying the dowries, because paying the dowries is a traditional concept of many African. You see, like Bragg said, like me, I'm a traditional conservative who is changing from being. It has to be a gradual change of paying the dowries. We cannot say we have to be like, let's change with the system. We can't be radical to say there will be no dowry to be paid to the marriages. You know, like let me give you an example. You have daughters, for example, Guy, you have daughters.
Yes.
Who will be a man with mind who will say, my daughter will not be married? Yes. Like you have, I have daughters. Where in the world I would say that I will just give my daughter to somebody, and then that's it, class. Case is closed. It's not going to happen.
Exactly.
You see, but the dowry payment have to be reduced. Like Bragg said, it have to be reduced. It have to be a conservative, traditional. Let's change it. If we say, if you pay like 50 cows, okay. In our traditional, the marriage is ranked from the small cow to the bigger cow. You see, let's say one cow, the small cow would be 150. Then in the middle one will be 200. The big cow will be 300. You see, but the whole dowry will be like 50 or maybe 60. You see, but we have to get rid of this crazy stuff of saying you have to pay like 90 cow, 100 cow. That's not in our tradition. It's not even there. In our conservative, traditional African or Sudanese, it's not there. You never had a girl that would be married with 100 cows. And you see the problem is this. After all this, when you marry, there's a new system where you have to pay, you have to go to the church, you have to do the traditional, and then you go to the church. This costs a lot of money, you know, which needs to be get rid of. Let's say if we want to bring the Western society where you want to go to the church, then let's leave the African way of marriage or paying dowries. Because the Western society, you have to pay more money too, more than us, what we pay in South Sudan or in Africa. You see? So I will agree with people who said the marriage, the dowry need to be reduced. But I disagree with people who say we have to get rid of paying the dowries. Because there will be no this kind of rooms where you raise your children, you raise your daughter, and then later on at the end of the day you just give them to somebody who does not know what is it to raise a child. A girl child is not easy. You know? It's not easy. Would you agree with me that girls to raise a child with a girl child is very expensive than to raise a boy? You know? Even in our homes, it's very expensive. Because you will never let your daughter to go somewhere without clothes, without shoes, without nice. But the boy can just go and hang around. See? So what will be the reward for the parents? That will be the question that will be lingering over us. What is the reward for the parent who raised their daughters? If we say this marriage is crazy. Yeah?
True.
So this is not right, but I will agree with people who said it have to be reduced, it have to be documented, and then people have to.
The reward will be Mr. Right. If your daughter got Mr. Right, I think it will reward the family.
That's good one, man.
You know, it is just across. You know, there was a research there was a research too that was did by NGOs that the cattle raiding in South Sudan is because of marriages. That marriage is a problem. Like those who have no, if you don't have cattle, and then you decide to go to somebody next neighbor, and you take all the cattle because you want to get married. But that cannot conclude that marriage is dowry is a problem, because what is happening in our country is not because of that, because there's a lack of institution. There's no government. If there's a government, like during the Arabs, where in the world you find somebody to go and raid somebody, cattle to go and get married, it's not there, because that will not be the problem. The problem is that we don't have a system in our country. But otherwise, paying dowry is very important for our traditional, to conserve our traditional. Even in the West, even here in the West, people are paying dowry in form of money.
Okay.
That question of divorce cannot be put over the dowries, because when you marry the girls, and then you go to your home, you treat the woman badly, and then that's the problem. It's not the problem of paying dowries. You see? Okay. If you are a bad guy, you want to get married, and then you divorce, and then your wife bring you headaches, and then you complaining that I pay a lot of dowry when you don't treat the woman good. That's your own problem. It's not the traditional way of marriage. See?
Okay, Brother Bull, there's a question for you from Marwa. Said that why do you want reward for raising your daughter?
You saying what? I can't see. I need my eyeglasses.
Okay, she said that why do you want reward, for raising your daughter? Why you want people to reward you?
Paying the dowry. This is what I mean by rewards. When you get married, somebody dowry, you pay the dowry, which is like a price. You can call it whatever. That dowry, when you give to the parents of the girls, it's like a reward. In other way around, that the family, the parent, the father and the mother will be happy, and then they can give you free their dowry. You see, let's say if you just freaking and the dowry, somebody dowry, and then you have a baby with that girls, then the family will not be happy with you. But if you come with, we call it open door. Like if you come and said, I want to get married, even though you don't have something, they can give you the dowry if they see that you are a responsible man. You see? But when you pay the dowry in our traditional, that means it's like a reward. You raise a human being that is going to be responsible, and then the parent, the husband of your daughter, give you something.
Yes.
You see, in traditional manner, in another way around. It's not like a word that just take this one. It's a traditional concept where when you pay dowry, it's like a reward. In other words, it tests your responsibility as a man.
Yeah, let me give you other question, my brother. Just at this point of reward, I want to just to get some clarification in this point of reward. So when you say to reward the parents, this is what is happening. I'm looking at it in a moral concept here. You know, now you're doing trading now. Are you selling your daughter?
No.
But why do you want reward if you're not selling your daughter?
It's not. Wait, Brad, wait. Dowries, when you pay dowry, what's the importance of paying dowries? You know, traditional. Why you pay dowry?
In my understanding, paying dowry in our traditional is because just to keep that relationship, you know, between both of two family. Because what I understand, marriage, it doesn't stop where you pay the money. You can pay 100,000 today, but you still continue down the track. You will help the family of a woman, of the lady, or the lady of family will help you. But it's not directly because you're paying that because to reward the exact parents, because everybody has a little bit in it, you know. The parent have something, the great grandparent have something, the other woman's side, all the relative, you know, they have something on it. So they will not have those amount of cow or money exactly to them. They say, okay, this is the reward of our, what do you call lady? Or if that lady have a brother, will get married with that what do you call cow and just swap it around, you know. But if you say exactly this is the reward for the parent, it look like you just bear shira hena. It will feel like this is a marketing.
Look, in other way around, when I say this is like a reward of paying dowry, I didn't put the exact word that you paying the dowry as a reward. But in other words, internally, the parent of the girl, they would be happy. Like you give something to somebody, okay, for the good deed. For the good deed. Like you said, when you pay the dowry, that does not end up like you don't give somebody in the long run. You still have this relationship. Like what happened? Let's say if you marry the girls, if something happened to you, the husband, right away, your in-law will come and help you out. You see, in our tradition, if something happened to you, in the long run, they will come and help with your dowry. Definitely, they will do it. You see, we mean you pay them dowry, but they still help you. But when I use this term reward is when you give something, you give amount of dowries to the parents. The parent will be happy. It's like blessing, you know. When you give something and then they bless you, and then now you take their dowry. Now they will be having this kind of relationship between you and them. You become an in-law right now. If you are a son, you become an in-law. If let's say if your father-in-law doesn't have a son, he will treat you like his son, and this is facts. You know, they will treat you good, and you treat good, and then the relationship move on. But if thing happen, like something happened in the long run later, like other person who asked about the divorce, if a girl decides to divorce, they can give you back your dowry too. They pay you back. In our tradition, they pay back the dowries, unless the girl has children. Unless the girl has children, that's when the condition come in when they say, "Oh, we can't pay you all the dowry because now you have children without dowry." You see. So otherwise, I didn't use the term reward as exactly like I said, but dowries, in other words, it makes the parent happy. It keeps the relationship. It makes you even more. Let's say the girl will treat you good too. If you married the girl, you pay the dowry, the girl will respect you as a man in the house. But what about if you just find the girl in the street and then you bring her home? That woman will never respect you in our society. She will cause you problem more than the girl that get married. And that is facts. So dowry payment is very important, but it has to be reduced. In my mind, by myself, that's my opinion, that it has to be reduced. Not this crazy like 100 cows, but it has to be reduced to 60 or 50 cows per marriage.
Well, Brother Bob, you know? To me, instead of using the word rewards, we can say it's a blessing. You know, yes. You raise the child. Now you want to bless the parents.
Yes.
Instead of using the word reward. Of course, culture, we can't change the culture. You know, we can't change the culture. The culture is supposed to be there. But the amount of dowry that we're supposed to charge, that's supposed to have limit. Let's say, Barek, you want to marry my daughter, you know, the max you will pay is 30 cows. Let's all the 64 tribe agree on that. Then that will solve the problem. Second to that, how much are we going to charge per cow? If we accept $100, so then all the 64 tribe, the same thing will apply to all the 64 tribe. Then we're not having an issue. Now, if we're going to say you're going to pay, you pay 30 cows, okay? At least come with 15 cows. Then the marriage will go with the marriage. We can agree for you to marry the daughter. The other 15 you pay each way. Now we solve the problem. And instead of you coming with asking, what my daughter going to eat, if you're going to pay 600, 700 cows. My husband will know what's going to happen.
هنطرده ليك بس نشاكل معه يومين كده يمشي.
Guy, there's one thing that I want to add. You know when we married, do you consider this kind of the family status? Do you know the family status that if you married from a family that is having in our culture we do have family status, that the girl is from this class, you know,
Yes.
And that contributes to the marriage. You see?
True.
Right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, true.
Yes. That's true.
But أنا عندي common في هنا ده before there's other guests I saw it there before you come in. أنا عندي common في اسمه شنو يا قاعد تقول كلام سامع هنا لكن تحديد بتاع تيتي بقر كمان شوية كده I disagree with it, you know, because
So what do you want, man?
this is what I think.
That's why you want the 600 or you want the 30 cows? That's a big discount.
No. أنا ما أدري يحددوا number one.
Okay.
If you put a price tag, it sound to me like this بيع وشراء.
Yes.
I don't want it to sound like this. I don't need a price tag. Number one, في عاداتنا وتقاليدنا في جنوب السودان ما يزول بيزوج ببقر. انت لو خطيت 30 بقرة across South Sudan, this is a radical. This is only for people who actually get married with بقر. في ناس مثلا بيزوجوا بغنم. انت برضه هتقدر تحدد لهم. ولا انا مثلا انا بزوج ببقر.
Then you go with 30 غنم.
اوكي انا لو بزوج ببقر ومشيت زوجت بيت هم بيزوجوا بغنم. يبقى هنا في تحديد. لما القانون يخش في الحته ده for me ده امور شخصيه. القانون بقى شويه كده too much يحدد لي في الحته ده, you know. لكن الداير يحصل شنو؟ يكون في flexibility, you know, flexibility between the traditionalists themselves, the people who do marriage, who do whatever. يجيبوا الاخلاق back, the moral standard based on our marriages لازم يجيبوا back. لانه هسه بقى materialistic. That's my problem, you know. So الليله اني لو اتفاهمنا معاك مثلا ما احدد لك تتزوج, لكن انا ده لو مرتب يا اخي انا داير ادفع 500 بقره, انت ما عندك مانع. انا لو ما مرتب يا اخي انا داير اديك 10 بقرات, انت ما عندك مانع. So the standard has to be in that category, you know, for us really to understand this is مثلا ما بيع وشراء بنقدر ناخد فيه القيمه. لانه انا ما هاخد قروش بكره لما اكون عندي حاجه نقول يا اخي الناس انا مش انا اتزوجت بكده. المساله ما كده, المساله بكوز انا ده اخترت اتزوج بكده. انا تاني لو حصل لي اي حاجه انا ما بقول انا اتزوجت بكده, because this is my choice, you know, and this is what I can afford. So it need to be kind of flexible of understanding. The last things I want to say, في very good things here our sister says. I don't know if I can recall it, the Victoria or I don't know. ما ده قبل كده قال مثلا after this dowry why the marriage are breaking down.
Oh yeah, I remember, you know,
that.
Yeah,
I remember that. Just I want to put comment on that. I don't know, you know.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah, if the dowry system work, how come much marriage fail, especially our parent generation? The failing marriage, let me tell you this, the failing marriage بتاعنا أساسا where did it started? أنا ناس طبعا أنا ناس newly civilization say, you know, ولا newly مدينة. أنا من أبدأ مثلا المارriage start having problems say from 70s, all right, or say from 80s. لكن أنت لو مشيت مثلا أمسك من your grandparent أنت ده, the problem of marriages or divorce breaking down is not too much, right? لكن أنا من جينا المدينة الليلة جدي كان بيعرف يقول لي بدي أنا بحبك ولا يعمل له كيس, ولا مثلا حبوبتي بيعمل جلس من جدي بيكوز عشان وقف مع بدك في الشارع. حاجات زي ما في.
Exactly.
You know, but أنا من جينا المدينة بقى في شوارع, بقى في عربات, بقى في بيوت, بقى في more communication, في بيت ده حلوة وبيده ما عارف, وفي ولد يبقى صاحب بيت وبيد يبقى صاحب ولد. دول كلهم حاجات new, those are contributor factor on our breaking down of marriage. So it has nothing to do with dowry actually. More women bigger, more independent, and more open-minded and trying to do her own thing, you know. لازم يشوف الراجل دايما silly, you know. So she have more control, she look around more. So that's where the problem will become here. أنا من هبات بنمشي سينما, you know, all this kind of stuff. This stuff they come in. So when they come in, then ما بتحاسب مع الدوري ولا تعرسها بكم المشكلة شنو. المشكلة بيجي في العلاقة. So المشكلة بيجي في كلام القبيل أنا قلتها. زواج عندنا traditionally أي زول نخرطوا فيه. يعني parent بتاعك ممكن يجيبوا لك راجل, ولا أنت ده parent بتاعي ممكن يجيبوا لي اسم شنو ده, يجيبوا لي مرة. لكن ما اختياري أنا. So here it become to the choice, you know. If you choose whoever you love, Is somebody you love, you build your love based on that, regardless of how much you guys, you know, your family exchange. You know, لو انت خليته بكره ده مشكلتك انت يا جبته. لكن ما في تحكم anymore. The problem is become to us if we have all these problems like marriage are breaking. Marriage has no relation with the dowry. It has relation with love. How much you guys love each other, how much you guys understand each other, how much you guys, you know, ما دارين تخونوا بعض. الحياة بيمشي لقدام. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We have Brother Sabata before I go to Brother Sabata. You have something to say, Bo, before I give Sabata a chance?
Just to add what Brack said something about very important. When people get married, when the marriage is about to be there's a negotiation in between the marriages, and then this negotiation is from both sides, from the man's side and from the girl side. So the girl side would force a certain amount of cows, of dowries. Let's say they will say it's like 90 cows, but in between they will negotiate. You see, like I like the way Brack said, because we don't need a fixed dowries. You know, that would contradict our traditional marriage. But there's a negotiation of marriage that when people force this, the girl side would force a certain amount of cows. Now the boy side would say no, and then they would talk about it until when they agree on a certain amount of cows that they will pay. Now we'll come to the if they want to pay them in money, and then the question will come in: how much is one cow, and how much is it big or small? And then this thing you have to be negotiated. But we can't say it have to be 30 cows, like you say, guy. This is not right. You can't say this daughter we have to be married with 30 cows. No, it's not right. It's not our traditional. It have to be a negotiated between the both sides until they come to the middle ground that they said
until they agree.
Now we agree in this amount of cows.
Right.
And exactly, you know, Kalam and Nandara, come on, Bita Nandara, exactly this is what will happen. Exactly what he says. I really do agree with you because people are clever. People are not, you know, they can switch things around for order for it just to work, you know.
But okay, brother, I will say something, but let me give chance to Brother Sabata. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Brother Gailam. I also want to thank the two gentlemen who have spoken eloquently, and I also want to thank all the viewers of the show tonight. What I want to say is I would be giving input in 2 points. First, I'm trying to respond to the question that you have thrown with respect to why marriages are becoming expensive.
Okay.
Now, what I know about the tribe that I come from and some of the other neighboring tribes that that I know is that their dowries usually fluctuate with conditions, general conditions of living that is levied on the people. Let me give an example here. The expenses that has been placed upon the girl when the girl was brought up, that is how the girl was fed and you know, all these determine how the dowry gets calculated. So if economy is kind of hard, survival becomes so hard, living standards grow very high, maisha biga saab, yani akil al-aish bitat al-iyal biga very expensive, then most likely the dowry is going to be kind of cut high. But if economy generally is okay, akil al-aish, besid, ta'lim bitat iyal, bardo kaman ma very expensive, then the dowry is usually lower. This is how it's calculated with the tribe that I come from and the tribes that are from the neighboring communities from where my tribe comes. And then, with respect to the argument whether there should be a law that would determine dowries. What I know usually is this: when you talk of laws that would determine dowry, it's not very, it's not very practical, because now you're talking about this field with family law. Usually, the states usually, or when I say the state, ana qasdi al hakuma al kibir, when they start codifying laws to govern marriage, they don't spell including even standardizing dowries. What I know usually, it is just pretty much more of general laws. Yani manatu, what the government can what the government can regulate is masalan haja to do with the age of the girl. Masalan, the government can decide al assassino the minimal age that a girl can be married is 17, for example, or 18, for example, depending. Like in طبعا في بلد بتاعنا هناك في ناس بعد مرات بيجوزوا من 14. So under the normal circumstances, إذا كان الدولة دي ماشي normal, then a representative بتاعت الشعب في برلمان كان حكم على أساس إنه مثلا 15 should be the minimal age البنات بيجوزوا مو لأنه من في حالة بتاعت هسه, then that will be it. And then مثلا كانوا من كمان decide على أساس إنه الزواج لازم يكون one man and one lady مثلا, ما polygamy مثلا, زي بتاعت West, then pretty much these are basically the areas that the government will regulate. But when it comes to dowries and the itemized things that are also paid with respect to dowries, whether they are goats, whether they are cows, whether they are money, and all these kind of things, this depends. This depends on the communities. الراجل ده جاي من ياتو community وبيت ده جاي من ياتو community, and then they will perform. They will exchange the rituals accordingly, because what I know is marriage happens in two stages. The first stage is the traditional one. Families beginning, and they will agree on terms based, and usually it is based on the terms بتاعت family بتاعت البيت, لأنه البيت ده ماشيين يجوزوا لفاميلي بتاعت الراجل. So الراجل كان جاء في family بتاعت البيت, then parents بتاعت البيت ولا أهل البيت بيقطع على نظام بتاعت قبيلة بتاعهم, بقول كيف يلا كان الأهل الولد radian, then when بيدفع الدور ديل they بيخلصوا traditionally, and then a requirement بتاعت state بيجي next. يعني الستيت طبعا licensing في طريقة أنا بشوف في West, يعني طبعا marriage license is produced by a state institution, and زي أنا بشوف في West, before the state institution even gives the marriage license, the state institution wants to make sure you apply for it and you give your age, the age of the lady, and all this information. And if the age of the lady and your age meets the criteria بتاعت قانون, يعني البيت ده ما عنده age ولا أي حاجة, then you will be permitted. I'll state permit you guys to go ahead and perform the marriage. And in order for the marriage also to be recognized by the state, it also has to be performed by Abuna, a license to perform marriages. My Abuna is licensed to perform marriage. Abuna is licensed to perform marriage, and Bardu judges, Nasal Ginadi magistrates are also licensed to perform marriages. Lakin other than that, I Gisim Tani, other than these two, they will have to be licensed by the state to perform things like that. So these are the 2 points, Alana. Like I just want to chip in, and with that being said, I will kind of lay back right now and listen to further discussions and then chip in my opinion also later. Thank you.
Okay, let me ask you, Sabata. Now, now we have a big problem لأنه different tribes they have different cultures. في ناس بيزوجوا قبل أخونا قال بسكسك وفي ناس بيزوجوا بقناميل like brother Perek say and brother Ball mentioned إنه Nuer Dinka they use cows for instance, you know. So of course tradition you can إحنا ما ممكن نقدر cancel our tradition, there's no way, but we can do some changes. ممكن نغير شوية حاجات فيه, right? And that's what makes us unique. Now, since we want to be fair to all the 64 tribes, do you think if we use money rather than using cows, do you think that will be, we can solve the solution? It can be a solution, you know, to this matter?
There will be a solution. Yani, let me give you this example. Is a masalan, BT decides to get married by a Dinka individual, for example. If the Dinka individual comes to me, طبعا احنا ما قاعدين نتزوج بابو قار انا بكره كميه بتاعت قروش كويس. لكن اذا ولدي مثلا decides to marry a girl from Dinka and my relative go there and مثلا الناس دينكا قال يا اخي we want 150 ولا 200 ابو قار for example.
Okay.
And what my relatives would do is they would say, we don't possess cows. Are you going to be okay to take the cow and make equivalent of money value? يعني مثلا بقرة واحد, let me say بقرة واحد كان $100 just for example يعني. Okay, and طلبوا منا 200 بقرة, then what we will do is $100 they will multiply it by 200. So that will then be the value. يعني أنا بدفع in terms of قروش, and that will be the value of actually 200 cows. And if أهل البيت بيرودوا, then they will take that money. And I don't see any reason why that will be refused, because money is valued for almost everything, including cows. Because unless أهل البيت قال خلاص إنت شيل القروش واشتري لنا 200 cows and then جيبوا, then we will consider that. You know, we will take the money. Al can be دفعوا دوري ده, على كان بدفعوا دوري ده. Then we will go and buy 200 cows and then bring 200 cows and say, okay, here is the dowry. You see, I think there is always ways by which the families or the communities can kind of, because it's more of a negotiation, they will always come into the middle to reach an agreement. You see.
Okay. Brother Ball, Brother Perek, you guys have any questions, or do you guys agree or disagree?
Yeah. Yes, I would like to put something on Sabata. You know what Sabata said about what let's say in South Sudan, it's not all the community have cattle. You see, not all the community have cattle. Like in Equatoria, like Tafosa, who have cattle, and then this they can agree that maybe the parent will demand that you have to bring cattle instead of money, like you say. And then they can give you a condition that instead of giving them money so that they can buy, they will tell you to go and buy them and then bring the cows. You see, because they don't want to waste money, and that will bring the problem, because the price of cows in the Hangson, in the market, will not be $100. Maybe you will find different. It's a little bit more. But if they agree that bring the money, which means you're good. From there, you're good. You clean your hands, you wash your hands. But if they give you a condition that, okay, now one cow is $100. Now go and buy the cow and then bring the cow. Then you will add more. That will cost you more than giving just $100. You see? And yes, and that's the problem between the community when they get married. But if it is a both community, if two community have cows, that would be easier. You see? Because if they say you have to pay 50 cows, and then you have the cow, now you just give them. So you have no problem with money. But if you marry from another tribe or another community, that will tell you bring the money, or they will tell you, okay, we agree you can bring the money, but buy the cows and then bring the cow instead of money. So you will have hard time to buy the cow. But in town, like in town, so people may agree that you can bring the money, because money now are safer than cows. As we speak, the situation we are in, the country is unstable. There's insecurity because of cows, and then maybe people will agree just bring the money instead of bringing the cows, especially in town. But in the villages, that would be another problem. But imagine, guys, this is one thing I want to say about this. Would you agree with me right now? Marriages is the only one thing that will bring this country together. You see, if we intermarried in different communities, I think this will be the only one thing that will bring our country together, because we will have a mixed culture. That let's say my in-law is from another tribe, and then I'm from
that's another problem too. Anyway, I will comment later on. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, it's another problem. But my perspective as I speak, what I see right now is the only one thing that left in our society that is respected is only marriages. The other thing is not there no more. But if marriage will continue, like you marry from one community to another community, and we continue paying the dowry, I think our country in the long run, the new generation will be better than us. So that will be, I can say, Sabata is saying something which is very important.
It is, yeah. Just my comment on the last point of Sabata. It's actually, what he said is very practical. I do agree with him 100% because I actually witnessed this about a couple of months ago, a wedding here in Australia. You know, between people from Lake State and people from Jonglei State, you know, and it was an exchange of cows. All right. The lady was from Jonglei State. They say, look, our situation now is very bad. We have flooding. We have a bit of displacement. There is no way we can handle cows. The situation is very bad for us to take cows. What we do, we need money. So they agree on how much one cow, they multiply that, and they did it. You know, so those sort of points are easy, really. This is I call it as a personal or private things. When the family sit there between each other, they can reach to some understanding. You know, and then they will get there. That it doesn't need any regulation. It doesn't need any other people even to interfere in, say, look, why this or why that. That why, like, if we leave marriage open and bring back our value, regardless of which tribe, you know, we always respect our value and a standard of marriage, you know, because we say in our tribe, we say a woman doesn't have nation. That's why if you see in the family, it's not a discrimination, but most of the time they rely on a guy, because a guy will bring woman from somewhere to help their family. And your sister will go somewhere else to help that family. You know, that's the concept. That's why we say woman doesn't have nation. And for me to comment on our brother, sorry, what's your name? Is not displayed there?
Sabata.
No.
My name is Bull. Bull.
Bull. You know, you say the only intermarriage between us, it will bring this country, you know. I think our issue in the country are very deep. If you see intermarriage, it started to say the generation from 80s all the way to 2000 right now, this generation, there is the measurement or say the miqyas intermarriage between them is a lot more than ever in the history of South Sudan. A lot of people didn't look into it, but through our interaction and the reality, what is happening right now, you know, now you can find, you know, at least 5 out of Denka married, probably there's 2 people married from our side. And on the other side too, especially this generation. So these things is already coming and is going there gradually. But if we do it deliberately, there will be an identity issues here, you know. Maybe the largest tribe is going to marry everybody, and then everybody will be the largest tribe, you know. So there is a political aspect in this when we put it like if we intermarry, this is what will bring us together. I think there's a lot of things can bring us together rather than intermarriage, and value, especially value and understanding, will bring us together more than intermarriage. But intermarriage is automatic because the generation of 80s and 90s, there's new elements of love, of self-independence, of determination, of how the family look like. It's completely a different family from our traditional generation, say, because back in the days, we're very restricted. We need to marry from one lineage or from one race. But I think this bridge automatically is just getting there.
Okay. All right. Sabata.
Yes.
Do you have any intake to what they said?
Well, I agree. I agree with the last speaker who have just spoken with respect to the idea of when you are only using intermarriage to kind of solidify a nation, that is not enough. I agree with him 100% that there should be what is called a uniform cultural value. What is a melting pot is actually the concept of what's called cultural values. When people come together and they give in some of their values, so that they will create the third one where they will all melt. It's more of a social contract. Okay, I agree with that. However, I would also say yes, intermarriage is also a factor towards nation building. It contributes something positive. You see, it contributes something positive because once people intermarry, then the siblings are of mixed blood. You see, the siblings don't see themselves identified as typically from this area or from this area. The siblings kind of look at themselves as people who are sharing diversity in general. So yeah, to a certain degree, I agree with both of them.
Okay. Now,
just before your sorry, I forget. I didn't see Naren. I didn't see Naren question here. And I want to answer it. He asked me about, I don't know if you see that question over there. He asked about how much the price was per head, Mr. Barrett. I think because here we're in Australia, actually it was $300, but it was $300 USA. That means it was $500 or say $500 here in Australia, So that means, per a cow was $500. So, and that has been multiplied, and it gives the price actually of the marriage, and they gave it away. That was the thing, because I think back home they know dollar, they don't know Australian dollar. So when they say $300, that means 300 USA dollar. Here in Australia we have different. It have to be $500 here in Australia. So we pay more by Australian.
So now our children, to be honest, they will become victims to those kind of things that will happen in our country. Now our children, they will not get that, and it will not make sense to them. In order for you to come and marry my daughter, you have to pay $500 or $300 US dollar per cow or per head. They will not do that. They would rather just run away, and both parents, they will lose. Do you guys agree?
All right, just to add something on what you said, Gailam, this is very interesting. Whatever you say is very interesting. Like in Masalan, let me take the basic things and the normal life. All right, if you're in the West and you cannot even make like 30,000 a year, all right, and then you coming to my daughter and you want to get married to my daughter, regardless of the price, I will put all the money or whatever we will exchange. If you cannot even make that much yourself, and then you want my daughter, do you think you're going to look after my daughter?
Exactly.
The the concept here has to be very clear. To me, sometimes the money is not an issue. Heavy money, like if you claim heavy money is not an issue, I have option, man. I can leave your daughter and I would go for something cheaper.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. If I develop love with your daughter, I will handle that with your daughter, and then you will give up eventually and put the price down, you know? So always there is a bargain.
Wow.
But my real focus is, for me, النوعية بتاع الإنسان يعني. Today, regardless of how rich you are or not, you know, today, look, I can make a commitment, make $100,000 paid for dowry, move on ahead. Your life is always, you said it, in something standard. To me, I don't look at the money. I look at the person, how really they're going to go ahead with their own life. You know, if you're doing well, which is شوية كده يدك ناشف, ما ده تديني price كويس, it's okay. You know, you're doing well. I believe you're gonna be with my daughter. You're gonna be very well with them. It's not because something I can get, but if you're already doing bad actually, and then you have money, and then you want even to give me money, you're gonna, like, you're not gonna give a value to my daughter. You know, so this it has a different lens. Like, I look at it in a different lens. Sometimes when اختارك انت من family سمح, ما مشكلة عشان انت وجيه ولا physically انت سمح. No. المشكلة the track of your life.
That's what Paul said earlier. Yes.
Yeah, the track of your life. For me, I want to relax, man. If I have a daughter get married, I don't want to involve anymore. I want that man to handle his family. They handle their family. They are comfortable. I'm comfortable. أنا داير أمشي زيارة بس. يجيبوا لي هدية وننوم. أنا ما داير أحل مشاكلهم. You know, that's the main point.
Yeah, brother Bright, this is very important. Yeah, like Guy said, what about our children? Our children will be victim. How come our children will be victim? Can I say this? As we talk right now, our children will do better than us. Our children will do better than us if we raise them good. The job that we are doing, they will get more money. Imagine, if you married a girl who is educated, was educated by his father, and now you married, he get a job. Will you be focusing on dowries, or you'll be focusing on a woman who is educated, who is working, than the dowry? They're supposed to pay more. They're supposed to pay more. Our children have to pay more dowries than us because we educate them. Yes,
and you make it even worse now. Huh?
This is facts. This is facts. In the Western world, like our children in Australia and Canada, in America, they would do better than us. This is facts. They would find better jobs. They would have good money. Their life would not be like our parent or our wife. You know, even the boys too. If he's a good boy who go to schools, who have the principles of our culture, why they will not do better? They can even marry better than us. This is facts. And this is when the family starts coming. If you raise your daughter, I raise my daughter, go to university.
But Paul, let's be realistic here.
Guys, wait. If you raise your daughter and then go to university and get a job, will you be focusing on who is going to marry and pay the dowry? He have to pay more. He have to pay the status. Because I raised a child who is intellectually good person, who is a woman, not just like doing like traditional woman, but this is a modern lady, a modern young girl who's supposed to do better than him too. We can't be worried about them because they will do better. We can't leave our culture, our tradition of dowries because they will suffer. No, it's not going to work.
Okay, let's be realistic here, Brother Bull.
Yes.
How many of our children now are married legally and they are doing good? How many of them now? Because now they take a Western life, you know.
Yes.
They don't get married. They just live as boyfriend, girlfriend, have children. That's it.
Guy, this is the problem. What you said is the problem right now. There's a Western cultural influence that is destroying our families, and that's the problem. That thing needs to be handled by the parents. When you raise your children, this is the question that will come to your mind. Do you need your daughter or your son to just make this kind of crazy stuff called the hookup or dating and then move in together when they are not married? This will be an individual question, because our culture right now is not longer like before. There's some problem coming in. Like our children that we raise in the Western world, they don't follow our norms, our cultural norms, and this is a problem that needs to be discussed. But it have nothing to do with dowries. You see, it have nothing to do with cultural dowry or payment. But we have to deal with it in different ways.
Brother Ball, what are your cultural norms and practice kids don't follow in the West? Give me an example. For example, what they don't do.
Our cultural norm are like before. When you raise your son, there's a certain age that your son will engage into, like making like this kind of crazy. Before we don't have this kind of crazy stuff called the boyfriend and girlfriend. We don't have it. We do have it. They can talk, but they don't have this Western culture of dating.
Is a boyfriend and girlfriend crazy stuff?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
It is crazy stuff, because in the end of the day, maybe the girl will end up having a baby when he's not prepared.
Yeah.
In the end of the day, the boy may have children when the boy is not prepared. So the responsibility will go to the parent. You see this? But in our traditional, you raise a daughter or your son until a certain age that he's going to get married. What we focus most in Africa, we focus about the education, that you have to educate your children. After they finish university, after they finish they find jobs. After they find jobs, now they can decide what they want to get married or not. But in the West, we don't have that. Even a high school student who's supposed to be dealing with his schools is having children. Now the society collapsed. You see? How are we going to be a strong society when we do those stuffs? Now forget about marriage, forget about dowries. You see? And then there's this crazy stuff. They can even decide to move out. Like guys talk about it all the time. They decide to move out and have their own houses. You have no power. Now the power of the parent is taken away. So how are we going to deal with that?
You guys like too much control, huh?
It's not controlling. This is sex. This is what is going to happen. It's not even. I believe Guy went to you visit Kenya. Our children in Kenya, or in East Africa, they do the same. They have children everywhere when they are not prepared to have children. See? So what are we going to do with it? It's not easy. So there's a Western culture influence that is destroying our culture. Now our culture will lose, and then we finish. That's it.
I will have some comment on that, but if Sabata want to come in before,
Sabata,
Actually, what I would want to say in this area here is that even though I think it's a little switch on the topic itself, but I would tend to agree with Gailam when Gailam said that our children will be disconnected from these concepts with our dowry, because the mainstream culture usually influences the minority so much, and there's a mainstream concept al assassino when you start talking about payments of money, Bawarazol, it is basically tied to relating whoever you are talking about dowry to with a property. You see, this country has a history of people being exchanged here and there for money, and they were basically defined properties. That is why, Gailam, I want to tell Ball this: that Ball, if you have some Caucasians, white people who are friends, can I try to talk to them about the concept of paying dowries? The next thing that they think is, oh, why do you want to sell your daughter? Why do you treat your daughter as though your daughter is a property? You see, this is the next thing that comes around their minds. And because this is the mainstream concept, they will not be exempted from this kind of concepts. Yes, even though we try to tell them that you know we do honor Hajat Bita Dawari for reasons, and we'll give all the reasons that we know, but they will eventually not embrace that. They will embrace the concept Alfifi America Hina Bita mainstream. Al assassino when dowry is now being placed in the mix between a relationship between it is pretty much, yes, it is pretty much a concept of trying to get this lady in a position of property, you see. And if we are not careful, down the road you will come to notice that even some of our own daughters will refuse the idea that dowry is binakishu fi kalam bitam, is avoid bitam. Humbaram sometimes you have refused, you see. But the good ones, the well-mannered ones, will not refuse. Well, they had that Ancolat Del, but they will not even pay attention to it. You see, they will not pay attention to it. They will not honor it. This is something Al Kerekala Subena Ancolat Del, yes. But the notorious ones or the rebellious ones will even refuse and say, no, I'm not going to allow you guys to talk about dowries on my marriage, because it's basically positioning me as though I am a property. I am not going to accept that. So I know for sure Gailam, Kalam Alita Guta, Al Assassino, this kind of concepts will face challenges to West Pini. Like Kintaban Junub Sudan, it will continue, because this is just how we have always been managing our marriage system with respect to how women are taken from their parents' house to the house to where they get married. Yeah, they go through that system. Like in Hini, it's a different system altogether, and I'm sure Iyal Bitana will basically embrace this system instead of our system, instead of our process. Yes, this is what I think.
I had a question of Sabati.
Sure.
Yeah, you know, you talk about the Western mainstream culture. What you like you said that you've been with white people. I talk about it. It's not on here. Do you know how much it costs for the wedding of the Western mainstream culture than our wedding? Do you know how much it costs for them when you get married and have a wedding in the Western culture? Do you know how much it costs for them?
Yes. What I would answer is that there is no definite amount. It always boils down to the two who wants to marry themselves. If you've noticed here in the West, it is the girl and the boy who are trying to get married, basically plan their wedding. Their parents can get engaged. They only get engaged at a minimal capacity. Maybe they try to bring in some gifts here and there, but the entire planning relies on the girl and the boy. So some of them would decide to do a marriage that would cost a heck amount of money. Others will decide to do it very simple. You know, they will just go to a magistrate or to a church, and then from there they will just go to a park with only very few friends. So there is not definite amount, and there is always flexibility with respect to yes. But one thing I know for fact is that they always don't like Kalambita Dois to be engaged.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you prefer the Western wedding to be used in our culture? Like you need us to do like wedding Western crazy culture of wedding, then that's it? Or what do you think?
Nothing crazy in there, brother.
Well, I am not saying one is better than the other. But
Okay.
I would love to have my daughter. First of all, I would love to have my daughter grow up in the house. And we'll go through the process. أنا جي فولو تحت هناك ده بدفعوا دوريس وبيقدموه كمان في بيت بتاعه بيقدموه في بيت بتاعه لادي كان وصلوه في بيت بتاعه بعدين أهل بيسيبوه في بيت هناك وبيعرفوا قدموه بنية بتاعت سباتة في بيت بتاعه وده كده بيخلي أنا I will feel good about myself. But at the same time, yes, this is my desire. But will it happen? I don't know for a fact. I will try my best. But if it doesn't happen that way, I will not be very, very surprised. But what I will try to do is, I will try to basically just educate the girl. Al-assassin, it will not be good. Kano masalan besurua tala girlfriend zola la zujozo, and then they end up living together and ukhalas kida. No, I will أنا بشجعهم للزواج لكن كان في النهاية he can قال يا أخي خلاص ثبات الزواج ده yes is good we are going to do the marriage لكن كلمات بتدوري وكيف ده رماوزو because it presents me out like a property it will be a tough thing for me. I will try to explain to her, but if she refuses completely أنا كمان بخليه في حاجة على النظام بتاعه ده, but I will also support marriage there. I will not turn it down, and I will also.
But sorry for cutting you. If you're gonna allow this to happen, that means your neighbor, your cousins, and other people in the community will do the same thing. You know, so we have to be strong when it comes to this our culture. Now I have 5 girls. If you're gonna come and take my daughter for free, well, you know, life in the country, you have to do something, no matter what. You know,
mal pointed.
I'm crazy. In their side with that baseball, in their side with that, they are around. Whoever want to come to my house, you're in trouble. You know, so either come in the right way, I will bless you, and you take my daughter. That's fine. But for free, it's not gonna happen. At least do something. You know. Even my own sister can't go with Hawaii, a white man. So my mom, she said, no, you have to pay something. And the white man, at the now discount, he paid $10,000.
You
see? And that's here in America, in Nebraska. You have no choice. None of this is, you have to value the culture, you have to respect the culture, regardless of what. You know? Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, brother guy. What you say?
I just.
Okay, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Yeah, you want to say something, and then I will come on after that.
Okay.
Yeah. No. I was just trying to say what guy said about when people are talking about the culture. If you want your culture to get lost, and you be assimilated into the other culture, now leave your traditional whatever you have from your country, and then enter into that culture. Now, your children, whoever come behind you, will not even talk about where did that come from. Like you said, your mom said, your sister married to the white man. The white man come in. This is our traditional. Like me, I talk to him. This is what we do marriages in our culture. What do you think? Because he will respect your culture. He will do whatever you guys do in your culture, despite that he's a white man or whatever. But if you just say yes, go ahead with it. Now you let them get away with your culture.
Exactly.
And at the end of the day, you will be complaining that we lost our culture. You see?
That's
Let's say if you just do wedding without doing this traditional whatever in our culture, now you shift your culture to the Western society. At the end of the day, you cannot even complain. You see? Your children would know, we don't know where they come from. You see? Now you lost. It will be only you and your wife, and then you decide to go back to Africa because you left your children to the West. But if you maintain this, even the white men will go to South Sudan and see how we do our traditional wedding, because this is a respect.
Gailam, I just want to correct something a little. You know, when you realize Kalam Gibelana go on today, I was basically saying is a bit bitai, Rafat al assassino umazu kalam bita dawaris kede wonusu bowara bitao because it turns her a property because ana al assassino khawajat they respect values
Yes.
nas tani
Yes.
yani al khawaja kan gija jozu bit bitak kanta sala gutalo gal this is how we do it yani al khawaja they will be fine. He will do it the way you want to do it. But if your daughter decides to object and say no, you people are turning me into a property. I don't like this. These are exercised sometimes back during the slavery time, and you try to convince her, and she refuses. Kulu. Will you be ready to then see her leave the house in anger and just go join the husband? And your relationship will not be there, my daughter. At the end of the day, bit nasal, so that you maintain that good relationship. Ubadin zawaj de kede kala nefsa betao beteriga kwes ashan kaman suma betat family remain kwes. Which one will you prefer? And then maybe kaman aku betana mingi belu sakat magala ya haja will come in.
Okay. You want me to answer this and then give it to Parejo, or Parejo go ahead?
No, you answer. Shan kalam lo khalo biyabrat.
If you hate film, go look at microwave. You can head it. You can go to his microwave and.
You go ahead. Yeah.
Sabata, a simple answer to this question is if you have a mango tree and you water it 3 times or 4 times a day, eventually you will know that this tree, when it grow up, will bear good fruits, and you are going to enjoy the fruits, right? So now, when your kids are young, you teach them the principle, the value, what it means for you to reveal our culture and our beliefs when they're still young, not when they are already grown up. My 21, my 18, my 16, they all know, and to make dad happy, this is what they have to go by. Not for me, but you're doing it for the entire family, right? Of Lam family. So don't bring shame to the family, do the right thing. So when you teach them the Makan Suhar, eventually when they grow up, they will still remember what dad told me and what my mom told me. That's a simple answer to your question.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah. Anyway, you want to say something, Sabata?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
All right. Yeah, just for me to come in, I will comment on a few things. Like in Khalili, nabda be kalam bita Sabata, who he's put it very well and very clear. بالمناسبة. يعني kalam bita Sabata ده exactly. كلام ده زي طبعا يعني شوية في السوشيال ميديا اليومين ده مختلفين. by tribalism, أنا كنت بسمع ناس بنادوا بقول لك مثلا أنت لو متزوج من قبيلة ده خليم ولا متزوج من ده خليم. One thing I want to say is this: family is first. The way Sabata put it here, Sabata care about his family and care about his daughter, and that's the most important thing, regardless of your culture or what you do. أنا ما ممكن أعمل break down بتاعي the family because of the country or because of the big culture. You build your family, and your family will be the culture even itself. This is very crucial. I do understand in our culture, if you make your daughter understand the value, and you're getting bagger dowry, those value is not be ushira. It's something Ramzi, for example, just to keep relationship with the hajat da. These expenses is not because of you. Because now, before, when you compare the white wedding, it costs more money even than our traditional wedding. For the white wedding, more expenses. بيخش في الماديات. قصدهم ماديات. They want to make the wedding in Bahama, for example, or if they want to make it at home, the price will be different. But the focus is not because of the girl. The focus is of how the situation of they want to be, how it's going to look. It is very important for us to make a very clear line. And here ain't a confusion between culture, what is our culture, and what is the right thing and what is the wrong thing. if our culture that in the question, you know, we have too much control. معلش يعني أنا بالمناسبة كجنوبيين ولا شيء أفارقة أنا قاعد ناخد قيمة كبير between too much. You know, so today, like for example, for a woman الليلة, if she became like, I don't think so because she sleep with too many men or one man or three men, that will break her life or that will destroy the society. You know, but we should focus more on value rather than her what is in her body. مثلا البيت ما كويسة يعني بيخرب السوسايتي كله. You know, exactly like what you said before, like شوف انت عشان تخلي أسرة شيم ولا حاجات ده الشيم انت لازم تعمل ده بالمناسبة تحكم. You know, but if you put an understanding on our kids' mind and explain this is how our value and this is how we live and this is how we go, like somebody say, the bigger culture always influence. Our traditional back home, our people are majority. Maybe I will disappear, but slowly it will cut down. And yeah, I don't believe people who are in the West, even if they go back home, all of them, they're not gonna change the traditional marriage situation. They cannot. You know. But here, the Western mainstream culture will influence our kids. If it influence our kids, we need to be open too as well. Because any too much control. Jenak Zarelo 23 or 24, ita lisa, ita dai record mark fi bet, uta lisa shuflo ya to rajil wala shuflo ya to bit, uta matam shi, umata amal utam na min boyfriend. Da barau ta hakkum, you know?
Yeah.
You see her like this woman is not independent, she cannot handle the situation by herself. But at the same time, ita lo fi wala mafi, bal munasaba hayamu survive. أخلاقه ما هيبوظ ما في حاجة بيجيو. You know, so the main thing is بقول لك طبعا أنت لما تكون بتاع سمك دائما علم زول يشرك بدل تجيب له سمك من بحر all the time. Our family always بيجيبوا سمك من بحر بدول عيالنا وبقولوا ده traditional وبقول لك ما تطلع من الحتة ده. أنت بكرة لما تمشي جناك بكون فاشل كان معتمد لك ما بل حاجة تانية معتمد له ما هيقدر يسوي حاجة في حياته because the new world will be difficult for him. If he's strong enough, he can go ahead and live in the new world. If he's not strong enough, وبنتهي معك ما موتك ده نهايته ولسه بكون عايش روحيا وphysically لكن ما بكون doing well because you're not there. You know, so in our traditional, I think في too much تحكم sometimes. This is how I see it. But to me عشان أنا أخلي مثلا داوري ولا بقر ولا حاجات ده, it's not because أنا عشان نخليه. Lakin our moral standard, where we point at this, if we look at this my girl will bring me this, that's where things go wrong. نمرة اثنين أنا دايما أتعلم الindependence. الجنة لو بقى 18 years old ده راجل ممكن يربيك أنت ذاته. أنت بس تخاف عليه ما تخاف عليه. Teach them to the independent world because this world is very concrete jungle. Western world أسي أنا من جيل نيجي نعمل struggle ليه. Most of our people they are not independent. And that thing we need دايرين نعمل تحكم في الفاميلي بتاعنا ونقول العيال خربوا. أنا لو شفنا الناس خربوا في ويسترن وول هسي لو جبنا الفاميلي بتاعنا ده كله ما بيكون 20%. It's not 20%. Actually, majority are doing well. They follow the traditional stuff. They actually functioning well, but they changing a bit of concept. You know, like exactly what's about to say. If your daughter say her philosophy thing about this is Bewushira, mother she don't want to be a part of it. How you gonna convince her? You know, this is a completely different philosophy, and it's arguable. She can be convinced. She cannot be convinced. If she's not convinced, I'm not gonna lose my family over something else. You know, I want to live with my family. So that's the whole thing. So Ania Zadu Ania fi Junubi Masalan, our traditional, sometimes it's too much. We feel like أي حاجة شنو under control. So موضوع الزواج هسه في الوست وخراب بيوت وحاجات ده كله sometimes بلصقوا مع our traditional because أنينا كنا قاعدين نعمل كده وهسه ده الخواجات جو خربوا لنا حاجة زي ده. No, ما في كلام زي ده. الكلام just the changes, whether we like it or not, we're going to change by any means. But this will not hurt us. We actually will function to a better place or to a better things for us to survive in this environment. Because our tradition, في the environment بتاع West, we're not going to survive, man. That's actually reset us to failure. If you guys don't understand that, you know, especially the generation who حاليا there is misunderstanding, you know. بالمناسبة this generation actually when they look at it, they want to get married. They want to be, you know, دارين راجل يجي يسألوا من يدهم من بيت ويسووا حاجات سمع. They are not willing just to go over there with a boyfriend and sit there whatever. I know في عادات تقاليد بتاع boyfriend وبتاع ما عندنا. لكن sometimes it's good to be صريح مع بنتك. عشان انت تعرف زارو مو مامنو. يقول صريح مع ولدك. هو زارو مامنو. لكن حاجاتنا لما نكون في dark because we practice in the dark and it's always in the dark. We keep it in the dark. It's going to turn out something else. يا sometimes بلوم العيال بعدين بيقول لك ماشي اختار له صالوب ولا عمل له مصيبه زمان because هو قاعد يسوي بدس انتوا حارمينه تتكلموا معه وتقول له مثلا you know تصارح معه بتحب منه ومنه بيحبك و how you can control this you know الناس بيشوفوه حرام اي حاجه بيسووها حرام ده المدسوس مرغوب you know زمان في السودان لما تيجي ماشي زي ده ماسك كيس اسود ولو انت جيت تسلم على زول في يده الزول ما يسلم لك ويزباله بيكون في كيس اسود ده
What's going on there?
داير يشوف داخل الكيس الاسود ده شنو you know لكن انت لو ماسك كيس ابيض وجيت سلمت عليه وبسلم عليك انت you know but this is exactly what is happening.
Bull, you want to say something before I answer this question? Brother.
You know this is very important. Like when the culture, different cultures come together and they fight, you know, like human being, that one culture will get lost. That's definitely what Bragg said. Our culture right now is in the 80s where it is going to get lost because of the Western culture influence. Because when like you said, we don't need to control our children, which is true. I like that. But what can we learn from our culture that we can keep and maintain it? Very good example. Let me show you something like this. Even Western culture, there's a shift. Before this crazy stuff, like before they usually have a courtship, you have to court a girl, right? Where the parent will know their girl is talking to somebody's son. And now it's changed. It go to dating. From dating, it go to hookup. Now it go to one night stand, whatever they call it. So this is a problem in our culture. If we raise our children,
if one night stand not gonna harm anyone, why not?
Yeah, that's unintended consequences of one night stand. You see?
It's not gonna harm anyone, you know.
Yeah, it will not harm. No, brother, it will not harm. But there's a reason. What would be the result of one night stand? Because you now with somebody that you don't know. You see? Do we allow our culture to? Do we allow our children to do that? No. But if they choose, this is personal opinion. Like I said, this is personal. If you advise your children, this is right. This is not right. If they insist, they don't want to listen to you. There's an end of it. There will be a result of that misbehavior. And that's why you see our children right now, they end up in the street. I agree with Bragg that we have to teach our children how to work hard. Hard work is very important, that the children have to work. If you turn 18 years of age, I agree with you. You have to work. We have to teach them how to work because they will be independent people. But if we don't advise them, if we don't tell them the truth of the Western society, what it takes, at the end of the day, they would blame us. And then
just to clarify something, Guy Bull, before you come, sorry for me to jump in. But Munasaba Bull, you know, your understanding is the understanding, say, of the majority of people we have, and I will not argue so much, you know, because I know you understand. We are in a term of fighting the level of, you know, different generation and the understanding and the time itself. This one, they all play the factor, you know. But Anna, when I look at the stuff, I look at it in a general term. You know, I don't see 2 people or 3 people doing bad, and then I will think all this community is doing bad. You know, this is what is happening exactly like what you say. Yani, the issue you give to Masalan, yani, one night stand situation you bring that. You know, even Khawajat themselves, if you see this one night stand sloop, minority of them do it. Dama culture bitama sasa. These are not a culture. You know? But in the حرية الإنسان وحاجات craziness وشوية, you know, عشاء بتا كلهم ده بيجيب حاجات زي ده, you know. But this is not the majority in our community. If our people, of course, if our أي community فيه حرامي, فيه زول كويس, فيه كده, you know. But always we don't judge based on those individual understanding, you know. Lo fi one night standing in our culture, somebody say wow, it doesn't mean that's represent across culture, you know. But I understand you want to stop this because it's not good. Of course, even it's not because you is stopping it. في العيال انت بيشوفهم نزاروا برام بيعملوا لهم stop, because there are some people they hang out, when they hang out in a places they will see stuff. It is you don't know, but they don't do it actually because they see it is bad. But this is a decision from their own, from themselves. And this is what I see. Like our kids now, it's not because you guys holding them, that's why they don't want to do this. No, it's because you guys teach them how to understand the value and the respect of other person. You know, that's the old things. I mean, that the main thing is playing role. Like in Ashan, you think they saw something and you have to stop them. It's not because you is stopping them. You know, because the Western culture now, let me say this, especially even in our generation. Yeah, even in our generation or generation of the 90s. Has it shown how many people who have a boyfriend and girlfriend and got in for apartment? How many?
Lot.
You know? It's not because, do you think they choose it? They didn't choose it, but they get the pressure. Mafia understanding between their parents and themselves, and mafia understanding from the whole community ذاته. الفاليو ده ماشي كيف والحاجات ده كيف. No. دارين يغيدوهم يقول لك لازم تعمل كده. That's where the problem is. But if there is understanding, of course, these kind of things, they're not going to really play out the way they are playing right now. Thank you.
Okay, let's give Hakimo 3 minutes. It looks like he's at work. Before we need enough school for us to end the show. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, shukran wallahi. Ana sakal, again topic is very interesting. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear.
Yes.
Okay.
DJ, welcome.
Topic is very interesting. I greet you guys with the audience. Ana fi Malzara, jere katir, makalamiyal de zato.
Ayo.
Lakin aku tai jama jumhur najaf mahal sokon. Najaf mahal sokon. You know, we respect our culture, but it's very tough where we are now. As parents, we can do our best. Kan fi modu tazawaj mali ma mali de. Ya jama, this mali become a threat to our society. Okay? And in this sababanat. Okay? Asa do kan jira bhaga ana ganyan.
Exactly.
Ana ganyan. Lakin when you come to Rome, behave like Rome. Okay? Don't bring the dreams to Belet Tana Zamande. You wanna interject here.
Yeah.
It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work, brother and sisters. What the best thing we can do? We advise our kids. Okay, back home, there's no boyfriend, girlfriend. We understand. But right now in the Western world, our kids are growing up here. Even the laws are protecting them. The laws of this country is protecting them. As long as they reach 18, they will respect you. But how can you stop? How can you stop your daughter not to have a boyfriend? Are you crazy?
Yeah.
Common sense and logic. There's a story like this. One guy, he got married to his wife. He paid 200 cows. They live here in America almost for 15 years. And the wife is fed up. The wife went to court and get divorced. When they go to court, the guy say, I need my cows back. The judge say, Yahutai, we don't talk about animals here. This is a human being. See where we live now?
Yeah.
She's a human being. She fed up with the abuse. Akotai, your wife will have to go. So, you know what I'm saying here? There's things in our culture need to be changed. Gurus Yamahaya. If you take my daughter, for example, as long as you take care of my daughter good, if you treat her good, no abuse, I'd rather give my daughter to South Sudanese or to Sudanese than go live with Kawaja. Magala racist, okay? I'm not racist because I know tomorrow we can go back home. Tomorrow, when time comes, all of us we can collect ourselves, we'll go back home. But if your daughter went to Kawaja, they will end up with one baby, only one baby. I need to see my daughter produce kids. Okay? So that they will call, I'll call my daughter, where's my grandkids? Like Kawaja, but I can make Nina white. And then if we're going back home, she will never go back home. Okay? So, Kalamata Malede is our tradition. Like Kaligero. Even some of us Muslimin, some of our tribe within South Sudan Muslimin. So when Bol will say in Tamara will bring peace, no. Especially like we Equatorians, our sister was taken by Upper Nile, by Bargazal, by Awit. So where's the peace? Where's the peace? Intermarriage is between individuals. So it will bring peace. We'll never cry here every day. Oh, my land was taken. Was taken by who? By the uncle, by the in-laws. So what are you talking here? Come protect me, and then tell me Intermarriage will bring peace. So what I'm saying here, we can marry each other, but it's individual understanding. I might marry your sister is good with me, but the rest of your family is not good with me. You know what I'm saying? So, let's live with the way this American system is. Don't demand money. White Joe's Mamul Sar White order for almost 20,000. Within 1 month. Asa in this way, what can I do? I pay 200 cows. Within 1 month, the lady refused. My cows is gone. We are in America. Tell me, what can I do?
You actually bought the lady. You didn't convince her. Because I do believe Italo could have كلام خشم بخشم ما بتقدر له. لكن 20,000 يا جابوا لك عشان كده فاد منك يومين.
No, for some people, but for some people here, they cannot talk. They will use money. I'm not lying to you.
Yeah,
this is the problem here. We need to open a classes of talking to a lady, convince her without paying money. Okay? But our people here, they're still behind. They have to use money. After the lady eat their money, and then they come cry, oh, Abu Gar, that's you. But because you don't use your skill. You know what I'm saying?
So Hakim.
School دار معلمين يا حكيم school تدرس الناس يكلموا مع بلد دار معلمين.
ما إنت يا guide ما guide يا guide.
إنت هتبقى مدير. You're gonna be the head of the school, brother. Eh?
I will end up here, so I have to go to work. And then if Paul want to say something, I will listen before I go. But the truth might be said, and Tamara will never bring peace. Our women here, our ladies here, if you're lucky, some family will be lucky. Even though if you teach them how, you never realize one day your daughter wanna come with a boyfriend in the house. Daddy, this is my boyfriend. You will, if you ball react, you will bring aside what to go because you feel like this is my boyfriend. It's American life. But teach them, don't get pregnant. Watch out for ayan katir. A lot of disease. Like you cannot close her legs. Ita sultan, ita mufta. She have feelings. Teach her, be careful, finish your school, enjoy your life, but don't get pregnant. Don't bring disease in the house. And then if you want to go date your boyfriend, don't bring to my house. You come by and pass by. You go to sleep somewhere else.
Hakim.
Anyway.
The head of Catholic Church protests and says, look, using condom, haram.
No, I'm not saying teach her not to get pregnant. It's not about condom. Okay? Ita ya baraj mara kandir hamil uba hamil. Baraj. If a woman want to put you in deep shit, he'll put you in deep shit. Yeah. Woman knows herself when he will get pregnant. Believe me. She knows the timing. The timing of a man.
That's the point.
Can mara there zara leg, zara leg.
Yeah.
He knows herself. It will teach her. Even her mom will teach her. Period.
Sometimes it's layuk ya Hakim. Sometimes rajil bukul layuk shoye.
No. Hayat ma fa layuk. Ita boril umato bidiri so quest. Have fun, enjoy your life. But for timing, almara, the time rajil bahamel to mara bahamel to wale. For timing. So you have to avoid some days. You have to avoid to sleep with a man so that you cannot get pregnant. Can be haram. Kanja by mistake, come on, Allah Karim. Maybe, good luck. And I agree with Sabata. Sometimes you have to give up. Let your daughter do whatever she want to do as long as she respect you. Because your relationship with your daughter is very important. But you cannot stop her to have a boyfriend. Unless if you become crazy. You become crazy. Enjoy your life. So she want to enjoy her life in her age. So anyway, I will end up here and Allah Karim.
Thank you, brother. Okay, brother.
Ball, if you want to say something to me, I will go.
What I was about to say something, but Brack said something about it. When you said you have to teach your daughter, which means do you encourage sexual education to be taught in our culture? Because we don't have that. Even we don't talk about sex. Wait. Our culture, people don't talk about sex. You know it better than me. But right now, do you need us to talk about, we have to teach our children on sexual education, or what do you mean?
Okay. It depends on you, but it depends on individual families. Even though if you don't teach them, they will learn from school. So don't waste your time. Teach them in the house. Teach them. Forget your culture in Africa there. Teach them, let them understand what exactly sex means. But if you refuse to teach them, there's a student in school, there's colleagues in school, there are friends in school. So you cannot stop them, my brother. You better practice teach them. It's good for you to teach them.
Hakim is that's very important point, Hakim Belmanasaba. Borita Tarif, because our grandparent, great parent, our traditional or what we call culture, sexual education or sexy stuff, we categorize it a bad thing. We put it in the dark. We do it in the dark. So you want your kids to do it in the dark too. You will be fine. But if they come obviously to talk to you between you and your son, for example, you don't want it. But if he does it in the dark, you're fine with it. This is where the problem is. He's better to do it openly and instead doing it in the dark. Because we don't have that education. But do you think we don't do it? We do it. But the way we do it actually is the wrong way. But if you're going to do the same thing in the dark, I'm okay with it. The same thing exactly, you do it in the light, I'm not okay with it. What is the difference?
And let me answer this guy so I can get out. This guy say here, Joseph say here, if your daughter respect you, why she never listen to you? Doesn't mean my daughter, if respect me, cannot have sex. Are you crazy? She can have sex in the age that she's qualified to have it. I'm telling you, she have feelings like you, but teach her the right way. But now, if you say your daughter respect you, she cannot have sex, my friend, so she can go and cheat on you. She can go, so Daddy, I'm good girl. Good girl. But what she's doing out there is very worse.
What does that has to do with respect anyway? What is that has to do with respect?
I don't know. This guy, maybe he means something different. She means like if your daughter respect you, she cannot have a boyfriend. my brother, I'm telling you, I don't want God to give you some daughters. You will go crazy in the street. So thank you. I have 7. Let me tell you, I have 7 daughters. Even one Dinka is dating my daughter. But when the bagara Jan, when the bagara go to Shilu, bagara bata kunta bugul ta balad ma fazato. Wala indi jine. Gutola akar Shilu ya kabila kawaja.
Ma kulu Dinka indum bagari Hakim.
Anyway, thank you guys so much.
Thank you, bro.
Yalla, bye.
Okay,
my God.
We are about to end the show. It's 3 hours and 9 minutes, 10 minutes actually. We want 10 minutes extra. So let's give 3 minutes each. Let's start with Sabata. He was quiet for a while. 3 minutes, and then if you hear the bell ring, that means it's over.
All right, I thank you very much. في حاجات بسيطة I took from Brother Hakim زمانه قولوا today. It helped me see this. على أساس إنه موضوع التداول الجبال أننا قولوا سفوقه ده. مفهوم بالتداول طبعا في مجتمع بتاعنا الداول ده مفروض اللي هو عمالي ده عيال. يعني في كاتش بتاعنا أنت كان قد دفع داوري اللي هو عمالي ده. mara de kan gija tala mufrud mara de gisi bu yal maita fa kede imagine hasa fi belede yani ita kelen galta bitmassak ma hajat de shadid and knowing al assassino governing bitat belede is adverse yani binia bitak de badin kan gitala min rajil de o bitala beterigal fi bitala beterigal kan ta man fata yana binadi hakuma police bitala rajil de barindet ورجل ده ما بيلموا في ايال ده اللي هو مالي ده so في محل ده يعني you will see the contradiction مثلا انا هنا كان بنشوف الاساسين وموضوع بتاع مالي ده is very very necessary but it is not supported by the laws of this country لنا هناك إتالو دفعت مالي first of all bid ذاته كان بيجا ما زيتا بيد كان طالع وماشي في بيت بتاعهم انت بيلقوا في بيت بتاعهم هناك بيكلم له قال هي يوم ده زول ده كان دفع مالي ايال ده انت بيرجع هناك انت ما زول ده واحد نمرة 2 وذاته اهل البيت بيحاول يروح ميت مع اهل بتاع راجل عشان بيشوف موضوع ده شنو عشان بيصلحوا لانه في مالي دفعوا في فلوس هنا لكن في بلد ده it is not like that مالي ده sometimes بيدفعوا في زمن بتاع اي حاجه كويس لكن كان كلام كهرباء sometimes حكومه لابس كاكي يكون في النص شفت كيف؟ الريلاتيفز اللي شالوا منهم قروش واللي شال قروش will not be part of any negotiation. ف ده بيرجع في كلام الجبال الناس اللي قاعدين يعملوا argument على اساس انه موضوع بتاع دوري ده مالي ده في بلد ده may not be very practical. لكن should we discourage it? Of course أنا personally بقول يا أخي let us uphold to it. كان بنات بتاعنا برودو بيسمع كلام بتاعنا أهلا وسهلا لكن كمان كان ركب بروسهم ما دارين يسمع كلام we should not break our relationship with them. Let us maintain relationship معهم and let us support them. كانوا منازو روا لبيت بتاع الراجل so long as بيعملوا بطريقة بتاعت زفاف وأبونا بعمل فوقه blessing يعني بيعملوا بطريقة رسمي كلام بتاعت مالي ده يا كان ردو كويس كان أباو كده ما جاني سبب الناس بتاع relationship تمن مع عيال بتاعهم وأنا باكر وشكرا شديد يا غايبول أنا فرصة عشان أنا كمان بشير opinion بتاعي وبعدين أنا كان بعمل conclusion بسيط في حاجة very interesting discussion بتاعت يعني teaching talking to girls about شغل بتاعت جوري أنا كان فكر it is best إذا كان ونسوم بتاعت بيد كده كلمة بيد كده درس بيد على أساس إنه ياكي يعني كده كلامات بتاعت sex ده ما عملوا عشان بكرة بعد بكرة بيجي بإيال وجات بشكل زي مسؤولية ده ما سهل وجات بشكل زي وبعدين بيدا كان بيجا طبعا بيدا بونسولو حاجات زي عشان بيخوفوا لكن هل بيدا بيطلع خواف nobody knows بيدا أكيد still بيروح بيحاول سرقه
That's right.
Yeah. هو بيحاول سرقه ففي الناحية لو كان بيجي سرقه برا هناك كان سرقه ما سرقه ده الاحترام ده ذاته انت بعرف احترميته وانت بتبرتين كان انت ما جلاه كويس لانه كان انت ما فتح ما بيحترميته وكان بيجي ما بيحترميته ده بعد ما راتهم بيطلع من موتيل يلا صافا هم يجي مع بوي فريند لا دي في بيت هناك ذات شفته بياخد حمام وانت كان ما فتح جسد ذاته بياخد حمام في بيت هناك والله انت كان ما فتح يا قبل ما يطلع ده كده انت بعرف قالت خلاص انت ما في احترام مره واحده لكن لكن انت بعد ما يثبت توصلوا ما يعمل حاجات بشكل زي ده وبيدك عليك سرق وما سرق وبارا هناك اهلا وسهلا السرقه ده ذاته ده الاحترام ده لانه بيكافئوا parents بتاعه وشكرا شديد للفرصه.
Thank you Sabata.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Brother Paul.
Yeah. You know, first of all, I would like to say that I really thank the panels, and then I was happy on how we addressed this issue of the marriage dowry payment. This is a societal issue, brother Guy. This is a problem that is existing now we speak. Like you talk about it today, many people talk about it in their own dialects. Wherever they are talking about how can we deal with the dowry payment. And the problem is when I see this as a person, this thing of dowry payment, it does not need a radical change that we have to say we don't need to discourage the payment of dowry. But it has to be a gradual, where it has to be a modern, when we see the bad side of paying dowry, and then society will come into agreement that this is all right, let's use another method. But we cannot replace our traditional marriage with the Western mindset of wedding. Like I asked Sebastian, the guy, I work in hotel. I've been working in hotel for 15 years. I've been around the wedding, how much it costs for Western wedding. It's more than paying it down. But they like it. Like Brack said, sometimes they pay a lot of money because of the picture, how the wedding will be beautiful, but it costs them. It costs them more money. But who is the main person who do that? Is a man. Man for force a woman to be married. It's not a woman who go and marry and for force a man. No. The man will go and for force the lady. Now they will agree to do a wedding. But the man will pay more. This is facts. But if we just say our wedding, our traditional marriage is not okay, which I can agree with some people, this is not right. But it have to be a gradual change. That if we see we pay like crazy 90 cows, which is cost more, and then at the end of the day the marriage will not be okay. Then people will question that. You see, we will question why do we pay a lot of dowries when you get when the marriage is not going well, you know.
Right.
But there's a lot of influence that our marriages are not going together, and we agree with that. But if I go back to way we do our thing, it's very important. It's very even as in the West we do it. We do it because it will be. We don't want to get lost of our culture. That's the reason. It's not about getting the money and you go. No, but somebody raise the child and the son, but they have to keep their traditional of marriage instead of rushing to the Western world, where the Western society where you just get wedding, it costs them more. So I just complain when some people say we have to change this, like radical change. This is not right. This is not good. Like you just throw away your culture. Like you change your clothes, then you throw them away.
Right.
But when you change your clothes, what do? You have a new clothes, right? You have to have a new clothes. And then you can change the old ones. That's what I'm complaining about. Otherwise, it is an individual choice how you raise your children. It is you who will teach your children how your culture is good. My son usually has me. He's 5 years. He usually has me because he has TV. He had everything. He will ask me, "Do you have this when you are a kid?" I say, "No." And then he told me why. I told him, we don't have nothing. So he understand it. He knows that his father have nothing before, but he have the opportunity to have something. So if this boy grow up better and being a man like me, do you think he's not going to get married? He will pay the dowry. See? But if I just say, oh, just join the Western, whatever, and then you do whatever you can do, this freedom, like term freedom, if you have excessive freedom, you always cause problems. And this is true. So otherwise, this is a good discussion. For those who say, let's throw away the dowry payment, it's individual choice. Let those who keep them, keep it. You know?
Thank you.
And then thank you so much.
Thank you so much, brother. I'll see you on Thursday, inshallah.
Yes, I'll see you on Thursday. And brother, thank you, man. Have a good night.
Thank you. It's good to talk to you, man. This is a very good debate.
All right. Go ahead, Brad.
All right. Thank you, Guy Lam. I think it's been very interesting discussion. You know, we're talking about the dowries and how people should control their own dowries, or how we're going to put rules. But what I want to say on what we've been talking about, just to summarize it in a few points, I think we need to differentiate between what we mean by our culture and what we mean by the material actually we use, because sometimes we confuse between the culture and materials. In my belief and in my concept or my philosophy today, أنا لو زوجت بكرة أنا ما داير أشيل بتزول بملح. You know why? Because بكرة لما نمشي لنسيبي في بيت ما يعيلي بعين أسود كده. أنا داير بعين فاضي كده، أنا أقول أتكلم عن إني نسيب. That's the value. I need people around me. You know?
Exactly.
So إتا لو ما دفعت حاجة the way بعيرولك بطريقة كده ده أبو ملح. You know? وإنت بتعرف أبو ملح in our society. يا أبو ملح ده مشكلته طويل.
That's true, man.
So that feeling is still within us, you know. But we need to come to an openness about what does dowry mean and our economic political situation now. What I mean by that, our dowry now has lost the meaning of dowry. The real dowry in our grandparents and so on, it has their meaning. But the situation right now fail us to carry on the meaning of dowry. The meaning of dowry diverted to a different thing. غصباً عننا, this wasn't a choice. So we're trying to readjust according to the circumstances and to the situation we have right now. Because life can force us to different things, but it doesn't mean we have to leave our culture. And for people who always afraid of our culture, God, our culture will disappear. And here, بالمناسبة, we come to the Western world, and in Western world, we are a drop of iceberg. يعني زي الشعر في العجين بيقولوا بالعربي. You know, ما بأثر بحاجة. What we need to do, we need to readjust, actually, to make our family adapt the situation and respect each other and embed on them value, especially our kids, you know, because I believe in the concept, I respect you because I respect you. It's not because I'm afraid of you. The concept of, you know, نخوفك ده عشان تحترمني ده ما ينفع. We actually use it a lot. We need to take it away. And at the end of the day, marriage and choices in this generation, it became a different thing. And we start with love. You know, marriage in our traditional is not an individual thing. So when we say marriage, you mean the whole family. عايزول ده كيك بتاعه ولا ده chunk بتاعه. You know? So to bring this together into our society today, that's what it's facing us. As a South Sudanese, that's why we see, or we're very frustrated, we think our value disappear. You know? It's just misunderstanding. And what is marriage mean by then? and what is marriage mean now. Yeah, just for me, just 30 seconds for me to conclude. Okay. You know, yeah, I hear the guitar. Yeah, I hear the Genesis. Sorry, just 30 seconds. Yeah. For me to conclude, we need to just to put back the value of marriage and look at it as a value. So there is a value and leave them, they will build based on that value. Yeah. So the scary tactic, we're supposed to leave it alone. The choices, because love involved nowadays in our marriages, and there is a choices and women have more choices. We need to be mind and to consider women. If you have a daughter, you have to consider your daughter's view and what her say in that marriage and what she want, regardless of you want to give her to family you're looking for, you know. So for my conclusion, nothing really went wrong in our society. We just need to be more open. People who are in the West, أنا لو رجعنا جنوب بكرة بكونوا بضع أصابع كده يا برجعوا عشان يمشي يقولوا permanently. But 90% of us will be here, and we will be the descent of, you know, we still keep our tradition, but at the end of the day, we need to still keep what we're supposed to keep, but live the moment and live the future at the same time. Thank you for today, and thank you for your audience. And I really appreciate this opportunity. It was very exciting, and it's a long way to go. Everybody has different understanding. And at the end of the day, أنا لازم شنو نشوف المرج ده ونقبل choices in front of us. Because right now, and the last thing is this, I'm a moderate traditionalist. أنا داري بكرة لو زوجته أنا لو عملت a traditional wedding أنا مقتنع ده مرتي. So الطريقة دي نتفاهم، نمشي كنيسة كيف ونمشي نعمل هول كيف ونجيب زفاف كيف. لو قدرت تقنعني حباب 10، لو ما أقنعتني أنا بمسك يده من هنا وبمشي بيتي. You know, الدنيا سألني بعد خليه يسألني. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. I salute you, man. Okay, brother. Right. See you on Thursday.
Thank you.
All right. That was Brother Perechi. You have nailed it down, y'all. I would like to thank all of you guys for this great show, and also for your commitment to this family common sense show where you drop your sense. I did not claim that we are expert, but we are all into this, which means that we have a lot of work to do. Culture and our customs and belief, it's something that it's hard to be changed. We cannot change our customs and belief, but we can do some changes. We can add into it, you know. Like to cancel it completely, I think people, or 80% of our people, will not agree. What makes people unique is when they kept their culture. What makes people special, or a certain group special, they will identify you by your beliefs system, your culture, and what you believe. Then people have to respect your culture and your belief system, right? So people, they will argue a lot with what we're supposed to do and what we're not supposed to do. When you talked about our ladies or our boys, that they know sex, they know about sex, they taught them at school. So it's not something new. They can Google it at home in their own device. So those certain things, like my brother mentioned earlier, that Brother Sabati mentioned, that our wives or our moms need to engage even more closer to give them advice on how to deal when it comes to sex. But when you mentioned that, or when you said that, okay, I have to talk to my children about sex, we as men, sometimes we look at it as it's very sensitive for us to even mention it, right? But for moms or for mothers, they always teach the children, right? when they get their periods, they teach them how to wear the always and all these things that they use for women, right? So mothers are the one that always teach their children the first basic steps that they have to know, right? Therefore, it is their jobs, or it will look easier for moms or for mothers to go even engage more closer to their children to know what they go through. But for us as men, usually it's hard for us to even go closer and to discuss to our girls about those sensitive case. It's very sensitive for us to talk about it, right? So the culture, it is something that usually identify us. If you look at Arabs culture, if you look at Somali culture, if you look at Islamic culture, they still adopting the same culture 20 years ago, 100 years ago, 300,000 years ago. They're still the same mind concept, right? So therefore, they're still adapting it, whether they live in diaspora, they live back home, they live in their hometown, they still have the regulations that everybody have to go by it. So when you disrespect the culture, that means you disrespect the entire community, right? So when I mentioned earlier that I will not allow my daughter to move with a man for free, people always watch us. We people that live in diaspora, our children grow up in diaspora, right? So if we don't careful, when our children get lost in diaspora, they will blame us as fathers, as mother, that we did not do our job right. But when I come today and bring my own daughter, my own child, and try to ask questions about the culture and believing system, you as viewers, you will be proud if my daughter speak with me in my mother tongue, right? You're going to say, wow, brother, you have done a good job. Which means that I engage my child to the culture, right? So nothing wrong with the culture, but we have to engage all our children to this. What makes them unique, it's when they know the culture, right? So, but if you're going to allow anybody to come and marry your daughter for free or do whatever they want for free, guess what? They will forget their values. They will forget where they come from. It's just going to be like African American. When they brought them here back in 1700, if you guys come together as family, what they will do, they will divide you guys to different. They will divide you guys to different states, right? That way, you will forget or you will lose your culture and your heritage. But if you if they put you guys together, you will always going to be strong, and you will always people will be scared of you because what? The same legacy that I have, I pass it on to my children, and my children will follow the same legacy to my grandkids. Even though they grew up in diaspora, but the culture will be still strong. What we need to discuss about it is to reduce the amounts of dowry that you're supposed to pay. Then in that case, we are making sense here, right? We're making different here. But to say no, we don't gonna go by culture, we're not going to believe in those things, we have an issue. It means, in other way, that we are losing our culture. We are losing our heritage. People identify you by where you come from, your belief system, your culture, and all this. It's very important for us. And this is what they call history. When you say those are Sudanese, they will know in their culture what did they do. It's just like when the white men come and try to marry my sister. You have no choice. If you want his wife, if you want to take his wife, then you have to come out with a 10,000 US dollar. Not compromise. Now we're giving him discount. So if he want his wife, what he will do, he will pay. If he don't have it, he will go and apply for loan. Period. So that will show how serious he is going to be. If he's very serious and he really committed to take my sister as his wife, then he have to respect my culture and belief. Right? Therefore, they will know those people, they have a unique culture. Even though they live in diaspora, they live outside world, they live in diaspora, they're still adopting the same culture. Now look at Asians, they're doing the same thing. Look at Spanish, South America, and all this, they're still having their own culture. Look at Russians and etc. They all have it. The Arabs, the Somali, even the Africans, other Africans, our brothers and sisters, Nigerians, they have their own culture. If I want to go and marry a girl from Nigeria, I will respect their culture, and I have to do my best to respect their culture and their beliefs. Then they will bless me, and I will marry their daughter peacefully, and I will receive the blessing from them. But if I'm going to tell them, you know what, I don't believe your culture, those are the Kalam Fari, what's going to happen? They will not respect you, right? So when we're keeping what identify us, it's really good for us to keep what's good and to leave what's bad. Anything that will represent us, we must continue to keep it, because that's who we are. That's what identify us, right? So I thank you all for being part of Family Common Sense Show, where you drop your sense. Please share it with friends and family until we meet again next Thursday rather. At 7:30, we'll come out with a different topic. The topic that I want to talk about on Thursday, is about our ancestor. Our children, they only know their first, middle, and last name. Period. That's it. Let's pretend that your child went to South Sudan, and for some reason he got lost somewhere, right? Now, if they ask this child, what is your name? What is your full name? If they're gonna say my name, if she's gonna say, or he's gonna say, well, my name is Hope Lam, for instance. My name is Nancy Lam, for instance. They will not know your parents. They will not know where you come from. They will not know your relative. But we have to teach our children their grandparents' name from A to Z. They have to know it. Tomorrow, when they go home, even when they try to get married, with a newer girl, you don't want them to marry their cousins. How many Lam in Nuer family or Nuer the tribe Nuer? How many Lam? How many guy? There's a lot of them. But if you teach your child their full name, their ancestor name, they will not marry their cousin tomorrow, right? And this is very sensitive topic. I don't want you to miss it. Come please on Thursdays, 8:30. I want you to come and let's discuss about this very sensitive topic about teaching our children, their ancestor, their backgrounds. They have to know their grandfathers on both sides, the mother side and also the father side. Are we doing this or no? I thank you for your time and your efforts. I thank you for the energy. I thank you for being there. Please share it with your friends and your friends and relatives, anybody that you know. Please share it. Shalom, shalom. Until we meet again, by the grace of Almighty God, inshallah, on Thursday, 8:30 p.m. God bless you. Shalom, shalom. Until we meet, God bless you all. Stay tuned. I don't want you to miss the topic on Thursday, inshallah. God bless you.